This is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And this is The One Other Thing, Season 2, Episode 7.
Oh, wow.
7.
I know.
Well, today we got, again, we're trying new things here. So, just want to welcome anybody who's new to the show. And for those that have been with us for the whole journey here, can't thank you enough. Lots of changes lately. Aside from the sporadic scheduling, we're trying to make things better and really kind of focused on that. And we really have no idea where to begin, but we're growing and we're learning. And again, appreciate having you on the journey. And we really need a studio, but in lieu of that, we're going to use my dining room. Yeah, seems to be working.
Outer space.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I meant outer space. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going for the 80s look. That's our theme.
It. Yeah, I like the new background.
Yeah, I changed it.
Coming to you from 1980.
Yes, it's awesome. It's Tron. Anyway.
Well, today's show, on that note, Kevin keeps challenging me with, lists seem to work well for people, and frankly, they work well for us, too, because we seem to be able to talk about anything once we have the list to give us the momentum. So Kevin asked me to make a list of games, video games specifically, that blew my mind.
Well, I made it more general than that. Not just blew your mind, affected you, was like a wow moment, like cool, or I didn't see that coming kind of thing. Unexpected.
Exactly. Yeah, blew my mind.
Yeah, blew your mind.
See, for me, that's blowing my mind because, I'm like, I can tell you the number of games that have made me cry.
But my problem is when I made this list of stuff to blow my mind, I love video games. So if I really, really made a list, it'd be like 200, 300, 400 games.
That's great.
Of all the ones that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Every one. Back in the day, I used to load games, go through the intro, then turn the game off.
Yeah.
Load the next game.
Well, I was going to say games that made me cry were all made by Interplay because the fuckers didn't work.
Mothers.
But anyway.
Yes.
So we're going to get into that, and that'll be exciting. But again, wanted to address the fact that we have had lots of changes here. And, I'll be honest, I don't even have much for the What Are You section. It's going to be boring for a while, and this is the first show where a couple firsts here. One, I'm bald. I don't know if you knew that. I did. I knew that.
I didn't know till today.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It turns out that the hat, I'm not self-conscious about being bald. I swallowed that pill a long time ago. It's pretty non-negotiable, as it turns out. Actually, it's not true at all. I suppose I could go spend money and get surgery or something or Rogaine, but I'm cheap above all else, so that's not going to happen. It has nothing to do with that when I wear the hat all the time. It is a heat thing, or therefore lack of. So now that we're hitting the warmer months, we're in June here, I don't need the hat.
No dome.
Yep. Come fall,
Yep.
I'll be sporting the baseball cap again all the time.
Yep.
So I know this is the first show where I've never not worn a hat.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's amazing. But this is also the first show where, unless you do, I have no musical recommendations today.
Yeah. I don't know if I do or not. I have been listening to music this week.
Oh, you have? Okay, well, let's talk about that then.
Yeah.
So, well, that all said, I think for today we're going to jump into our What Are You section, then we'll jump into the games that blew your mind.
Blew my mind.
I rewrote mine in chronological order, more or less, I believe.
I kind of, but I didn't.
Okay. No, that just...
But I did decide. I put everything. I just wrote them down as I thought of them.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this one belongs to number one. That's kind of what I did.
Oh, so yours are not. There's a hierarchy to yours.
Sort of.
This is the one that blew my mind the most.
It's loose. Yeah. So the last one I read is going to be the big one.
Oh,
the one that says brain.
Yeah. See,
cerebral fluid.
I think I'd always say the biggest is the most recent, just because it's always so much fun. But I don't know if that's true.
And this one is not recent.
Yeah, I'm curious.
My number one is old.
No, I'm excited. Now I want to get to this list. But anyway, so buddy, I'm gonna ask the biggest joke of the show. What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? I've been playing StarCraft 2.
Who you been playing that with?
With you.
Oh my lord, you have been. We kind of have a bit of an addiction these days.
But you've been telling me good for you a few times this week. So. GFY to the uninitiated.
Did we not? Yeah, did we not talk about that on the show yet?
I did, yeah.
But yeah, GFY, if you don't know what that stands for, it stands for good for you. And it really doesn't.
Yeah, and during those good for you moments, I have been replaying God of War, And last night about 1:30 a.m. I platinumed that on the PlayStation.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, you know what I was doing at 1:30? Drooling. Yeah,
Drooling, yeah.
exactly.
I was doing that same thing. I was drooling, going, okay, I gotta go to bed.
It's fantastic.
Yes. So I had platinum another game. So about 4 or 5 games of platinum so far in the PS5.
Yeah,
or
boy.
PS4 or 5.
You took advantage of that week off.
Yeah, I know. So actually, I enjoyed once I realized I had only like an hour left because I didn't hop on last until like 11, 12 p.m.
Wow.
And so, well, it'll be a.m., 11, 12 a.m. But 11 p.m., 12 a.m. Never mind. Anyways, it didn't take much longer. I mean, I was almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to hunt for a couple more things. I had to pull up a guide, and I'm proud of myself. I didn't really need a guide for most of the stuff. It was just where the ravens were and some treasure maps.
Okay.
Everything else I did, and that game's worth platinum.
Actually, and what Kevin's referencing here is, with the good for you, is that I did not text him at all this week and say, hey, do you want to play? That's not because I didn't play. It's because I hate you. No, that's not it. It's
the skateboard.
a lot of the times I will start playing and I'll have 30 minutes to maybe 45 if I'm lucky. And I honestly don't know. Should I bother texting you for that? Is it a waste of your time?
Yeah.
So I'll ask it as a question. Should I text you in those moments where I literally could play a game, maybe 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Then in that case, I stand corrected. I'll do so moving forward.
I am a gamer through and through. I will play a 5-minute round. I'll play a half an hour round.
Okay.
That's just the way I am.
All right.
Because if I'm not playing games with you, I'm playing with myself.
Absolutely. Well, not for nothing. That's what I was doing, was playing with myself.
Yeah.
Shout out Need for Speed games. I'm sorry, they're just great. That is what I've been playing when I'm not playing StarCraft 2 with my friend Kevin. I am playing the remake of, I think it was the 2011 remake of Need for Speed Most Wanted, and actually beat the game weeks ago. And I'm just maxing out all the cars because it's fun to drive around and crash into things. Quite frankly,
Sure.
Love the whole franchise for the most part.
Yeah, I like driving games too.
Yeah. Yep.
But now my schedule's opening up. I can start finishing some games I've been leaving hanging. So
Nice.
Final
So God
Fantasy
of War?
15. I need to finish that because I'm near the end of that one, and I need to go back to Cyberpunk because I did like the game, but it was a bit buggy.
Yep.
And I want to get back to it because I did like the game, and I've seen some reviewers come out and say we were hard on the game, and deservedly so. But it doesn't mean it was a bad playing. You know, it wasn't like it wasn't fun when it was working. So there's potential there. So I want to go back now that they're. I still think it's not all patched yet, but
No, I'm holding off on that one because honestly, man, if I'm going to sink into it, I think I'm going to do Red Dead Redemption first, and then I'll get back to Cyberpunk. But and again, I figure with that one, the longer I wait, the more likely it'll work when I go to
when
use
you
it.
finally do it. Yeah. And I go back to No Man's Sky every now and again if I get totally bored.
Yeah, people are loving that. They just released another patch I'd read not terribly long
And
ago.
it's free. And they so if they can do it, Cyberpunk, you can do it too. I mean, and you technically you had higher expectations and a smaller hill to climb because people had so much more expectations than from Hello Games, who, you know, like the hype was crazy with Hello Games, and when they came out, they're like, this was a piece of garbage because nothing that they promised was there.
Yep.
Where this one, they promised something different. They promised it was going to work on a PS4 and the, you know, older Xbox, and it didn't.
Yep.
And then it was buggy, so they broke different promises. So let's, you know, I mean, gamers like a comeback story, so...
Well, you know, quite frankly, I tell people at work this all the time. We all fall down. All of us. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, and I'm particularly gifted.
Yeah, me too.
To be honest, I got a gift. I don't want to brag or anything, but when it comes to fucking things up, I'm talented. And, you know, that's a given. Yeah. We're all going to fall down. So I don't judge the caliber of your character on whether or not you fall down. It's going to happen. I mean, granted, if it happens regularly and you know, you refuse to learn, that's not going to...
Then I'll start kicking you way down.
Yeah, that's not going to leave a good taste in my mouth. But, you know, the caliber of your character, I'm more prone to judge it based on how you pick yourself up than I am whether or not you fall down. Yeah. And what I mean by that in these gaming conversations is, you know, okay, CD Projekt Red, for whatever reason, your internal communications was less than good, we'll say.
Yeah. And
so you effectively fell down. You broke a lot of promises. You lost a lot of credibility.
They did.
Nothing to be done for that. You did. I mean, you fucked up.
They were considered one of the last companies that were on our side.
But the picking yourself up part, that was lackluster.
Yep.
At best. And so it was one of those things, you had an opportunity, And, it's not to say you won't ever be in good graces again, but you'll never hold that esteem. Like Blizzard, for example. I mean, the Warcraft 3 remake.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such a piece of shit. The original was literally better than the remake. And they knew it. And they've got more money than God. There's no excuse for it. And do I still celebrate the Blizzard catalog? Absolutely. But at the same token, like, are they an upstanding company that wouldn't screw their fan base? Absolutely not. No, they would fuck every one of us in a heartbeat.
In a second.
And it's just, your character's been proven. And that's, I think, the moral lesson for all of these companies is, you're going to fall down. Mistakes are going to happen for one reason or another. And if you own it, you're going to do a much better job with your fan base than you would otherwise.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
Anywho. So what else?
So those are the games I'm playing. I'm trying to think of anything else. And, no. I think that's it for now. I'm waiting for some Steam sales to buy more stuff I won't play.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I told you off the show, but I saw a meme that just said Steam, the greatest place to buy games you'll never play. And I'm like, oh, but isn't it though?
I look at my Steam library with like 350 games. I'm like, I don't think I've played that in my life.
Yeah, I don't even know that many games.
Yeah.
What I love about that though is I was like, oh, it's not just me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's valid. We're in this together.
Like, oh, there's other people out there buying games that they never are going to play. But what a bargain, man. Yeah. I love those sales. I've been hanging out with my wife too long because I'm just like, 80% off. Can't pass that up.
Yeah. Jeez. That is awesome.
That's awesome. But again, this section is going to be boring for a while,
Yeah.
at least for me, because, before I ask you what are you watching, I'm just going to volunteer what I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'm watching Elementary.
Me too.
It's like 9,000 seasons, which I love, and
Yep.
each season has about 400 episodes. So I'm going to be on this for a while.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, man, anything I can binge. At this point, a good show to me is something that I can tolerate and has a lot of episodes.
Yep.
So I can just binge it. And frankly, I don't know if I could watch enough Sherlock in the sense that that character is just so great and the whole mystery aspect is fun.
I find him interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's the most flawed version of Sherlock I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's a mess. That actor, though, man, it's something, man. He actually is physically acting the whole time. Like, his posture is awkward. Everything about him is awkward.
I know.
I give the guy props for it.
I know. Jeez.
But good show.
It's a good show.
Definitely recommend
And I
it.
recommended it, by the way. So.
Yeah.
So I'm getting about 15% correct so far.
Yeah, you're getting better.
Getting better. Was 10.
Good recommendations, yeah.
Yeah, so it's getting better. And
you were
I'm
in the negatives for a while, actually. So you've come a long way.
Yeah, come a long way. And Loki, because I understand what I should even attempt to recommend to you. So I've actually, filtered. And Loki started, so I'll be watching that, and I'll let you know if it's worth watching.
Nice. Yep. And yeah, I like Loki, the god of mischief there.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And
I was nervous for the show, the first episode. I don't do this a lot. A lot of times I watch on its own merit, but I just wanted to check. It's like I wanted to look in the last page of the novel just to see if it's any good.
Yeah.
So I looked at Rotten Tomatoes, both critics and fans above 90%.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So it's well received.
So at least the first episode is, and that makes me feel good that it's not a big pile of garbage.
I thought the first Thor movie was a piece of crap.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
I really did. And it's a shame because Thor's awesome.
But I know why you didn't like the first Thor movie. I can tell you right now.
Yeah, please tell me why.
It was written by JMS.
Who's JMS?
Who wrote Babylon 5.
Oh, okay. That would have been. Well,
I knew that's why.
You know what I didn't like about the story?
Because he gave him personality.
The fact that there was a missing story.
Mm-hmm.
There was no character development. Next thing you know, like Natalie Portman was it? Whoever the chicken was.
Yeah. She quit after that.
She was just jumping all over Thor, and it's like, whoa. Like, where did this come from? Like, all of a sudden there's this romance. And it's like, whoa, did I miss? Is there?
He has muscles. And he's Australian. She's gonna jump all over him.
Thor is Australian.
He is. He's Australian.
It's just like the story was.
She wanted
missing.
to see us Ragnarok.
Not for nothing. I mean, I'll actually I'll tip the hat to Babylon 5 and say the story, the writing in Babylon 5 was infinitely better than the writing in Thor because there was no writing in Thor.
Well, that's the problem with screenplays is that he might write the original screenplay, but somebody else goes and rewrites it like 4 times before it gets to the movie.
I don't think anyone rewrote anything. I think they just held the delete key for a long time because there was like points that where I'm just like, what am I missing?
Yeah, the director had a lot to do with it too.
It's like the Brokeback Mountain. Everybody had a fit over that movie, and I'll be honest, I did too. I thought the movie sucked, and it's not because I'm anti-gay or any of that. It's that they're both being dudes. Like, have you seen the movie?
Several times.
Several times.
I'm kidding. Just once. I actually didn't mind the movie.
What I didn't like about it is they're just two dudes being dudes, and then next thing you know, they're all over each other. And I'm like, I literally rewinded. I'm like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
Like, wasn't it like, was there like a courting period that I missed? What exactly happened there? But no, they were just like gay on, and that was it, man.
Well, there are two guys that don't believe in foreplay.
That's fantastic. Maybe it could just be that I'm completely ignorant, but that's what I didn't like about the movie.
Not enough romance.
I couldn't. Frankly, I couldn't care less that it was two dudes.
There was no romance there. It was pure carnal.
Honestly, I wasn't. I was meant not to like it anyways. Freaking Jake Gyllenhaal. I just. Dude, I like you seem to know how to read a script.
Yeah.
But there's something about you, dude. You're just awful. You just ruin everything.
He dropped his pants and there was a spider.
Seriously. I mean, I have new depths of bad because of you.
Yeah. Jesus.
But anyway, you watching anything else?
Have I watched? Oh, I watched a movie. I did mention these off the podcast.
Yep.
I mentioned the movie Nobody, which I highly recommend if you feel like a John Wick that takes himself way less seriously. It's a good watch.
Yeah, it's funny actually. You were shocked that I'd already watched.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, I watched this movie, and I'm like, oh, I see Nobody. I was like, oh, I didn't, because it like just came out.
Well, the funny thing is, I've seen I don't know, seriously, in the last 6 months, I've seen 2 movies. The Mortal Kombat movie sucked so terribly bad.
I was gonna watch it too, and I decided against it.
Now, okay. If you somehow make movies and you don't know that every video game movie has been just an abomination, just an awful experience, I literally mean this from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
The first Mortal Kombat movie was infinitely better than the new one.
Yeah.
And that's tragic. It was beyond comprehension how bad it was. And it didn't need to be. Somebody chose to omit large portions of the story and to just do shit that made no sense. And spoiler alert, I'm about to ruin what is already pre-ruined, but hopefully if I save one person, 2 hours of their life.
You saved mine already.
Scorpion's the main character, and Sub-Zero kills him and his wife and all that jazz, and that's why Scorpion wants his revenge. That's basically the Scorpion storyline.
Oh, get over here.
And Scorpion gets sent to hell, and they do not explain this at all. I know most of this because I play the games. You see Sub-Zero come and kill Scorpion's family, and you see Scorpion in hell, but they do nothing in the way of explaining why he's there. And Scorpion is speaking, forgive me, any Asian audience members, perhaps Mandarin? Maybe? I don't know. Might be Japanese. I have no idea. But he is not speaking the English. Until at the end of the movie, when he comes out of hell, which he went to for reasons unknown, and he comes to finally avenge his family years later. What took so long? Apparently it's hard to get out of hell, I guess.
Yeah.
And
limbo,
then he throws his little spear thing and says in quite clear English, "Get over here," which is from the game, but
get over here.
No explanation whatsoever. Like apparently in hell they teach English.
Well, it's kind of like prison. They got a gym. They have a library.
He spent his time there well, and he learned English, or at least some of them. And so suddenly he says, "Get over here," and it was just, it was a waste of my time.
Would it be funny if that's the only English he knew?
I think it was.
I think it was.
But it was a shame. But that said, the other movie I'm seeing is Nobody, and it was. I highly recommend it for exactly what it is.
Yep.
It was basically, if you speak in my terminology, it was Saul Goodman.
Yep. Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. Saul kicking everybody's ass. And it was, this is going to be a great action movie, just mindless entertainment. And I'm just going to address it because I hear it. It's driving me nuts. But if you hear the buzz there, it's because we have no studio, and one of my neighbors is mowing his lawn.
Yeah. And it must be a couple acres.
That's fantastic.
He's been mowing for a while.
You know what? Why don't we take a break right now?
Okay.
All right.
Pause.
A few moments later.
And we're back.
Yeah.
And sorry about that, folks, but we were talking about Nobody when we left, and I think it's exactly what it I look for in an action kind of flick,
Yep.
and it's properly advertised. It's again, you get to see Saul go around kicking everybody's ass, and who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah, who doesn't want to see it? And yeah, the game. You can tell the movie doesn't take itself too seriously. It's like I think it's lighthearted. It's not,
absolutely.
It's not trying to send a message.
Yeah, you're not going to be a changed person for watching this, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, I yelled out loud a couple times. I'm like, yes!
That's great.
Because I'm a big fan of Christopher Lloyd. One, I'm happy he's still alive. And two, to see him with a shotgun is awesome.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed him being a because you never see Christopher Lloyd. I've seen him in a lot of movies over the years, not just, the awesome one, Back to the Future. But he's in other movies where he just played an insane person, or Taxi. And
I was going to say, I think Christopher Lloyd, I think Taxi all day long.
That's true. That's pretty awesome.
I love Taxi.
So this is against type, really, had him be this kind of role from everything I've ever seen him do. I've never seen him play like a, retired assassin,
Gotcha, yeah.
which is pretty badass.
That's a show I never think of that I watched a lot of, Taxi.
Taxi.
Freaking love that show.
I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
Great show.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm old.
You are old.
Yes, not as old as you, but old.
Old.
Yeah. So yes, we're in that month grace period where Kevin is older than I am.
Yeah, it's not the years, it's the miles.
In that case, I'm way older.
Yeah.
All city miles, my friend. All city miles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm savoring that month. You make me feel so young.
I know. I can't wait to buy you a present. I don't even know what I'm going to get you.
Well, it turns out I'm going to get your birthday present's going to come in around the same time my birthday arrives.
I think I might buy you some sand. I don't know.
I'm going to need it.
Yeah, you need a bunch of it.
All right. Well, before we get into our lists here,
yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, no. You said you've been listening to stuff. What have you been listening to?
See, when I go to work, which I haven't been in this entire pandemic, and now I listen to music the entire time I'm there.
Okay, nice.
Because one, I can, and so I do.
Yeah.
So Pandora is open all day long. So I've been basically listening to the alt rock stuff, the Weezers, the
Stone Temple Pilots, the Smashing Pumpkins, those types.
90s rock.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so I kind of so that's what I've been listening to. Nothing specific, just alt rock.
It's timeless. Pearl Jam. It's just great.
Yeah.
And you're of an age.
Yeah.
As am I. So don't
get me wrong. I really appreciate classic rock and
absolutely.
And I try to forget most of the '80s rock and '90s rock. I felt like made a comeback.
I still celebrate the '80s, and in many ways I celebrate the '80s even more because it's horrible. It's terrible stuff. But I mean, again, I'm of an age.
Yeah, I know, and I like meatloaf, so there you go.
There you go.
Not the food, but the never mind.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of meatloaf. The fan, the food.
The food?
Yeah, it's completely uninspired.
You have not put enough ketchup in it.
I'm also not that crazy about ketchup.
Yeah, I love ketchup.
But yeah, I'm like, wow, you took a bunch of ground beef and you cooked it. Way to go.
That's what the parents did.
Here's
your food.
You're a culinary expert. Way to.
Yeah, you got me excited when you said loaf, but
way to achieve.
It's not bread.
But
yeah,
that's awesome. Well, you and I went on a brief road trip the other day, and I have to say, I'm really, unfortunately, I haven't really been listening to much of anything, but to prove my point about how I run the whole spectrum, the other day I was working on spreadsheets, and I did have a chance to listen to music. So I listened to an Enya album, actually. We talked about it. That's what made me think of it.
Yeah, last episode. Yeah.
I listened to the In Memory of Trees album, and it was like a sedative. And then I took a turn the other direction, and I've been listening to, we were listening to Thursday, is the name of the band, and they're pretty angry.
Yep.
And, I hope I mentioned it on our albums you can listen to front to back. I don't know if I did, but Rage Against the Cheese, their debut album, fantastic. The one with the Buddha self-immolating there.
Yeah,
just what a loud statement.
Yeah.
And everything about that whole album was just fantastic. Still is. It's just a beautiful thing.
Agreed.
So I've been listening to Enya and Rage Against the Machine. Nice range there.
Yeah,
right?
I'll center you.
Yeah, exactly. I figure I'll land somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I'll land back on my folk station, right in the middle.
Wow. Jesus.
Awesome. So, anything other than the alt rock?
No, that's pretty much it.
That's good stuff, though.
I was listening to. Well, there was a day I was.
Oh boy.
Where we're going back. We're going retro. So I was cranking for a few days. Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of the Seventh Son.
Oh yeah, no, that's groovy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just rocking out. It just kept repeating because
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot to change it. So like going to and from work,
Oh, that's
I was
fantastic.
Iron Maiden.
That's great. That's because at 45 years old, almost 46, Kevin bought me a skateboard for
Midlife.
Christmas. So yeah, we went skateboarding, and he decided Maiden would be the soundtrack.
Yes.
Could do a lot worse.
Yeah, I was like, Maiden to me, it sounds like something you'd listen to.
Yeah,
You know.
I dug it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or Cypress Hill, or Cypress Hill.
And it turns out that muscle memory only takes you so far, and not skateboarding for 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I lost a little, a lot,
Is the best I've ever seen.
without a doubt. It's awesome, but I'd like to say I'm smart enough to not do it again. But
Yeah.
if you're listening to the show, I think I've proven myself that I'm not that bright. I very well likely may do that again.
I think it's only fair at some point we'll have to upload on the YouTube back to back the video of you skateboarding with me putting on windshield wipers.
That's fantastic.
I think
Yeah.
that has to
that
happen at some point.
almost seems fair.
Yeah, almost seems fair.
Although I didn't win $1.
Yeah, and I didn't bash you.
Technically, you didn't win $1 either, but I gave it to you anyway.
You gave it to me. Yeah, it was pity dollar. I'll take it.
But before we get into our list, then,
Yes.
and I'm excited about this.
Yes.
And actually, before we get into our list, how are we going to do this? Are you reading your list and then I'm reading mine?
Well, how many
or
items do you have?
I have 9 items on my list.
Okay, I have 13.
Wow. Well, actually, as it turns out, though, you know me, I have I have sub bullets. So if I count those, I too have 13.
Then I think it's pretty easy what we do.
Okay. All right. Then with that, though, before we get into that, I would like to do a couple things. I would first like to give a shout out to Audrey. Thank you for all your continued support is what I'm trying to say, but,
Yep.
why have a podcast if you know how to speak?
Yes.
Anywho,
Yes.
and that's it. Kevin, if folks are out there and they're like, please, God, stop.
You can please got some.
Or, hey, I'd love to hear you guys talk about this. Or, good for you.
Yes, good for you.
How would folks go about getting a hold of us to,
Easy.
wish us well?
You pull up your awesome machine here, and you send an email to toot@tootcast.net.
That's awesome. And that's TOOT for the one other thing, if that's somehow
Yes,
unclear.
we actually have the logo right in the corner there. It says
Oh,
Toot.
look at you, all fancy, pointing the right way.
Yeah, I know. It's confusing. I'm like, am I going to get this right? Am I going to get this right?
I'm
And
going
I
to point the entirely. I'm going to be like, it's over there, though.
But it is, though. You're right.
But I am right.
But it's not, I don't
It's
know.
a different over there.
It's weird. I just realized that I'm on the left of that screen and I'm on the right here.
It's all very
I'm
complicated.
confused.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Is this happening
bizarre.
now? Or is this a recording?
I gotta
don't
go
know.
back. I haven't watched Spaceballs in so long. I gotta go. I gotta go back and watch
Classic movie.
that. We just missed it.
Just missed it. When? You just missed it.
It's one of those timeless
Yeah.
classics that you gotta watch just so you can reference
Yeah.
those quotes.
Yeah.
You know.
Comb the desert.
Oh,
We ain't found shit.
I'm telling you. Yeah. I just.
It's just awesome.
Oh man.
Watch it.
Anyway, I have a perfect mental image of that guy too.
Yeah, I know.
It's forever burned into my brain.
With those round helmets that they had,
Yep.
It
And he's
was
got the
awesome.
big pick.
Yeah. Big pick. Yeah. Guy's a pick.
But
Do you think it was
anyway,
being met by Comb in the Desert?
no, that movie would never be released today.
No, a lot of things Mel Brooks did. Yeah,
yeah,
he couldn't do. Blazing Saddles.
You're going to hell and all sorts of bad.
And Young Frankenstein had its moments too. It did.
Oh yeah, it's astounding, and I like to think in some ways it's because we're actually evolving.
Yeah.
I like to think that, and then I freaking read the latest
Yeah,
headline about
I
Marjorie
try to
Taylor
avoid that.
Greene.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, we've regressed.
Yeah. Young Frankenstein had the scene. He goes, Igor says, "Walk this way." And he starts humping, and he goes, "You mean walk this way?" Gene Wilder said. And he started walking this way. Which that's where Aerosmith got the inspiration for their song "Walk This Way." And you think I'm kidding?
That's great.
Yep. It's,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah. It's
Good on
true.
them.
Yeah.
I of one of my many bad habits, I'm still perusing the news more than I should be.
It's right now is a bad time.
The worst part is it's like I've gone from shooting heroin 20 times a day to where no, I'm down to like 7, and it's like wow, that's an achievement. But no, you're still shooting heroin. So yeah, I'm still reading the news more than I should, and I have to say, like as far as evolution is concerned, because that comes up again, I'm really thinking more and more climbing back up into the trees every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Or go back in the ocean because that's where we really started.
Yeah, seriously.
Grow my tail back.
It's looking more and more appealing
Yeah.
by the minute.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Evolution was not worth it.
yeah, it's just I'm waiting for it.
Yeah. Jeez.
But anywho, won't even go down that road. So that said, then let's get into the gaming moments that blew your mind.
Yeah. I forget who normally starts. I think it's me.
I say it's you.
I think so. I think it should be you that starts.
Well, that's not
Make a
fair.
change.
That was a trick.
It was a trick.
Yeah, you just like did the whole duck season, rabbit season to me.
Rabbit season.
And that was. I'm actually going to give it to you just because I'm wowed by that.
Yeah.
You entirely just did that to me.
Yeah, that was a Jedi mind trick right there.
So, okay, well, my first one is one that has and again, I tried to do these chronologically, so these are things I encountered in my life, and I'm going to say they're more or less right. I'm not honestly certain of the order that I encountered things, but I try to speak to them in that order. So the first one is one that has 3 sub-bullets, but I'm only going to do one, so we stick to the right number.
Yeah.
And it was a game called Mach 3. It's from 1983.
Oh.
It was a Laserdisc game. And yeah, the name, I had to look up the name. I had no
Yeah.
idea what the name of the game was because you know it too. It's the one where basically there is what's modern day we'd call a VCR tape playing.
Yeah.
And so there's full motion video, like actual video.
Yeah.
And then superimposed over that is like the crappiest little jet fighter airplane you've ever seen.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
And you like fly around and you shoot these other crappy looking jet fighters that were superimposed over this full motion video. But I mean, this is in the days of, like, I mean, the games then, I'm thinking Commando is the one that comes to mind that I think was next to the one I played.
Yeah.
But I mean, this was the early 80s. Graphics were not remotely good.
No.
Not even close to good.
That wasn't the point of them, yeah. Yeah.
So this was, with the full motion video, I mean, my mind was completely blown seeing that. So I put Laserdisc games in that game specifically because that was the first one I came across, and my mind was blown. You know what, actually, I'm going to bounce around. I'm going to do 2 just because I know it throws off our count, but I'll let you do 2 or 12 or whatever you want. It's a game I played once, maybe twice, but Cobra Command was also a Laserdisc game of that same series that was a little more animation, but again, mind blown. Just, it was, you look at it now, it's comically bad, but at the time, I mean, that was like leaping 20 years forward for graphics, you know? It was like, oh my God. So, anyway, how about you? What's your number one?
My number one is from 1984.
Nice.
A game called Impossible Mission. I did mention
Okay.
this.
Yep.
It was the first game I ever played that had voice synthesis in it.
Yep.
It wasn't a real recording. They did their best to emulate what a voice sound would be.
Yep.
And the first time I heard it, I was playing Atari games before then.
Oh, absolutely.
And then all of a sudden it started talking. And then several games talk. It's not the only one that did it. Ghostbusters did it and a few others. Beachhead. And apparently I looked it up. It's not the first voice synthesis there was a game.
Yeah.
There was some in the 1980, so like 4 years earlier there actually was one.
Nice.
But they would just like read the name of the title of the game and call it the day. But this one actually talked to you throughout the game, which was interesting.
Yep, that's neat.
So yeah, and I pull up the emulator and I play it every now and again.
That's
I
great.
like the game. I
Yep.
think it was fun, simple game.
Well, just the nostalgia of it. Remembering your mind being blown by it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I believe what it says, another visitor, stay a while, stay forever.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you should Google it and see what it sounds like, because it's actually not bad for not being an actual recording.
Yeah, for what they actually were
Yeah.
working with. Yeah, they're amazing. In a lot of ways, those older games with the crappier graphics required far more intelligence to create.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had to like trick the system and do memory,
They had
stuff
to do all sorts of crazy stuff just to make it work with what little space
Yeah.
they had.
In the Commodore, they call it peeks and pokes.
Nice.
That's what they did. They poked the memory and peeked it and stuff like that.
Yep.
It was weird, basic programming.
Yep.
I didn't know how to do it.
Now I even understand that actually, but those terms. But why don't you do a second one?
My second one is, I would say, it was about 1993
Yeah, I don't know the years for all these.
1993 or 1994. I purchased my first PC because I was, a Sega Genesis guy growing up, but
Okay,
I
yeah.
never really owned it. So this is technically it's the first computer I personally ever owned.
Yeah.
It was called Leading Edge.
Oh, I had a
And
leading edge.
I was a smart ass about it because I was like, I didn't know anything about PCs, and it was either going to buy Leading Edge or I think it was a Gateway.
Nice.
And the reason about the Leading Edge is not, it was stupid. I looked in the back of it. I'm like, there's more expansion in the Leading Edge. I'm buying that one.
Fantastic.
That's literally all it was.
That's great.
So the reason why this game is important to me because the first game I got on CD.
Wait.
What's that?
What were the stats on that computer?
What's that?
Stats on that computer?
Oh, it was a 486 DX2.
Nice.
66 megahertz with 4 megabytes of RAM.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that's a nice system
yeah.
for its day, man. 4
Yeah,
mega RAM.
I think I had like 120 megabyte hard drive in it.
Yep.
So it was,
That's awesome.
pretty small. But
Back in the day, though, that
floppy
was
disk.
huge, though, back in the day.
It was. And I loved the computer, but then I purchased a game that had 2 games on it. It had Dark Forces and Full Throttle on it.
Nice, yeah.
So I put the CD in, I installed Dark Forces, played it, loved it. I'm like, this is amazing. But then I started Full Throttle. Wouldn't launch. I'm like, why won't it launch? Not enough RAM.
Oh.
I'm like, what is this game? This become like the grail. Like, what is this game that I can't even play?
Yep.
No internet back then. I don't know what it looked like. You know, I kind of saw like some box art. But that's about it.
Saw a dude on a motorcycle.
So
I'm intrigued.
So I happened to, I found a way to get some RAM. That's another story.
That's a way of putting it.
Yeah, that's a way of putting it.
I know that story.
Yeah, you know the story. So yeah, I was a dumb kid. But anyways, I got some RAM,
no.
which so I think I ended up with 8 megabyte more. So I had 12 megabytes of RAM in this computer.
It's huge. Yeah.
Huge. And I launched the game, and I was treated to a visual and audio extravaganza.
Yep.
Because it's the game starts with heavy metal, with a real heavy metal band.
Yep.
And it just rocks out. Graphics were awesome. Story was awesome. I have played the game since many times. They remastered it.
I haven't beaten it, but I have played it.
It's funny.
For the record, I mean, within the past year,
Yeah.
I played it.
Oh.
I have beaten that game.
Have you played the remaster version?
That's what I'm playing.
Yeah,
Within the past year, I have
you can
the
flip
remastered.
back to the older version, which is actually not that bad. It really isn't that bad when you flip back to the older version.
I believe that because when I look at the LucasArts games look great to me.
They held it was cell shaded, and I'm telling you right now, I get such Borderlands vibe. Because in the first Borderlands, how's it start? In a desert.
I could see that.
With a car driving, heavy metal blaring.
Yeah.
And it has this vibe that's similar because you had like people in the desert in Full Throttle where you had to fight in motorcycles and it was chains and stuff.
Yep.
And there was no guns in the game, and I liked the game because it was like wow, this game was like I just kept playing it over and over again when I had it.
I have to admit, actually, I played it on the PC back in the day, so the remaster I'm playing on the PSP.
Yeah.
Or Vita, rather.
Oh yeah.
I call it PSP because it's just whatever.
Kind of same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And the interface, of course, is entirely different. And I find that a little bit fascinating. So that's what I was doing that was strange to me is just the way you interact without using the mouse or the keyboard.
Yeah, so I played many point-and-click games before, and I didn't think I thought they were cool, like Maniac Mansion and Zack McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. I always loved them. But somehow this game was something else. It was like the Holy Grail.
A little sub-conversation
blew my mind.
Would you say that's your favorite point-and-click game? And if not, what is your favorite point-and-click game? I entirely know what mine is.
Yeah, it's
Always
tough.
will be.
See, my problem is that I already know what you're probably going to say, and I'm not a Sierra guy because...
It's not a Sierra
It's not a Sierra game. I'm shocked. I thought it was going to be a Sierra Online game.
What did you think? Lisa Larry or?
No, I was thinking like...
Space Quest?
Space Quest
Okay.
or
Nope.
Or one of those games, or King's Quest or one of those.
Gotcha. Nope.
No? Oh, okay. I'm trying to think what my favorite one is. I think my favorite one might be The Dig. And I know it seems silly, but
I know of it. I haven't played it.
It was written by Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
It was originally going to be a movie, but it was going to be too expensive to make, so they made a video game out of it.
Nice.
And it's a gorgeous point-and-click video game, and Jason is not Jason Patrick. I forget the name of the guy. But anyways, the guy who played the Liquid Terminator in Terminator 2 was the main actor in the game. So it was also one of the first times I heard a real actor.
Dude, by the way, you could say his name to me 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I have no idea. You say who the Liquid Terminator?
Yeah, the
I'm
Liquid
like,
Terminator.
I know exactly.
You know
who you're talking
exactly. Yeah, so he's the lead character in that game, but it's a simple story. It's basically an asteroid's coming to Earth, and it's going to destroy it, and your job is to plant explosives in it and get rid of it. And when you do, it opens a wormhole, and you end up in an alien world.
Nice.
Like that's like everything I like in a game. I was like, this is awesome.
That sounds awesome.
So yeah, that's my favorite point-and-click game.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. I have no math on my screen.
Oh yeah, that's good. I've never beat that game, but I have played it.
That game is rough to get the. I had to buy the guide to get the best ending because you can't. There's no way I would have gone there on my own.
I do own the game now because GOG
Oh, I know entirely.
They released it for
I
like
think I have it on
$3.
Steam, to be honest, too.
Oh, I don't think I have it on Steam. I have it on GOG. Whenever I go for older games, I go for GOG first.
The only reason I own it is I saw it on sale for like some ridiculously low price,
Yeah.
and it was one of those like I don't even know if I'll even load it again in modern times. But
Yeah.
it's like I salute you. Here's my
Yeah.
couple of
Yeah.
dollars.
You deserve this. Yeah.
You've earned it. You've earned my respect, and here's my couple bucks.
Agreed. So yeah, Full Throttle blew my mind.
Great game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I don't think it would matter the remastered or the original. What I'd say I played maybe half an hour. Holds up. I mean, it was fun. I was having a great time.
Oh, and I don't know if you know this, but Mark Hamill plays the bad guy.
Oh, entirely knew that.
Yeah, it's Luke Skywalker.
I entirely knew that. Yeah.
Because he's been doing voice acting from way back, and this is before he did all the Joker stuff, and he was pretty good bad guy. You can tell it's now that you know what he sounds like, you can kind of hear the Joker in that voice of the bad guy.
Yeah, see, I want to know him as Joker because I didn't watch enough.
Oh, you also got to play the video games because he also is the voice actor in all the Batman video games as well.
Okay.
So it's cool that the cartoon and the video games use the same voice actors.
I read a stupid,
cool.
I don't even know what the hell it was, but it was basically a guy telling a story about how a guy named Wayne Bruce came to work at his his company, and the day he started, the guy said, my arch enemy, Man-Bat. And he said, and no one got it. And I'm like, oh, that's just a shame.
Yeah, I know.
Because that is a great joke.
Yeah, I know, it's a good joke. Yeah.
My nemesis, Man-Bat.
Man-Bat.
But that's a shame.
Yeah, because his name is,
I hate when no one gets the joke. Cause,
that's hilarious.
That's a great joke.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're also missing out if you're not playing the Batman games.
I've not. I have to. I have them.
Quite good.
I have them from Epic, man. Seriously.
Yep.
Yay, Epic. If you're not, join the Epic Store. They give away a free game every week, and sometimes they give away complete crap that's indie and like it's almost like they should give you $1 for taking it. That's rare. The vast majority of the time they're giving away, I mean, top of the line games. I'm talking like $30, $40, $50, $60 games, and they're just like, here you go.
I heard they're taking a loss on some of this, trying to get people to get into their system.
I've actually, one of the games they gave away for free, I bought the DLC for the full price of $15. I want to brag or anything, but I'm a high roller.
Yeah, I know,
$15. But I mean, I don't know so much I would have bought the DLC had I not gotten the game for free. Because I really bought it because I had such a great time playing the game that I wanted to give that developer something. It was like, wow, this was a great experience. So let me pay a little something at least.
That's cool.
DLC was, it was more of the same. I liked it. Yeah. But, I'm trying to remember the name of the game, and I don't. So, no shout-out for you, I'm afraid.
Sorry, game.
It's Mutant something. It had this duck with a carried a shotgun. I mean, seriously.
Howard the Duck? No.
You had me at duck with a shotgun.
Duck with a shotgun, yeah.
So, there's that. All right, well, still number one for me because I'm some sub-bullet here, but I want to say it completely blew my mind still when I saw it, and that would be whenever I first encountered Dragon Slayer, also a Laserdisc game.
Don Bluth.
Just that's good. It's funny. I recognize the name. I don't know if I'd ever come up with that.
It actually they put it right in the title. Don Bluth.
Yeah. No, I know. I just don't know if I'd ever actually come up with that on my own.
Oh.
But yeah, it's basically a cartoon you could control.
Yeah, sort of.
But I mean, mind blown.
Yeah, it's like QTEs without the prompts.
Yeah, QTEs. Wow, I'm not that hip, but that's a QuickTime event for anybody that's like old like me.
Yeah. It's the bane of every game existence. No one likes them.
You know what I like about them? They completely make me spaz out, and I'm not kidding, because I will be like, just like, oh, cutscene. I can space out or do something, or I'll even put the controller down sometimes, and then all of a sudden it's like press X, and I'm like, ah! And I just lose bodily control of my motor functions for a second, and it's just fun.
I just watched a video on YouTube of like poorly placed QTEs. And there's like some game, I don't know if it's Devil May Cry or some game where there's no QTEs in the entire game.
Nice.
Until a cutscene plays, and if you don't hit the X at the right time, the game's over.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah. So you relax and you're like, oh, I'm dead.
Soul Blade or Soul Calibur? I think it was Soul Blade. When you beat, I think it might have been everybody, but when you beat the game, the ending had a QuickTime event in it that it didn't even tell you about.
Yeah.
Like you just you either knew it was there or you didn't, and that impacted which ending you got. So you pretty much always got the bad ending the first
You're
time.
like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
I forget. I have my controller or PlayStation. Where's the X? Left or down? Or
I just remember the one dude.
Yeah.
Like I knew what I had to do, and
Yeah.
it still took me like 3 times to get in.
yeah, I hate QTEs. I'm glad it's not used that much anymore, but some games still use them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there should be a warning, like
Yeah.
you don't relax ever.
Yeah, it should be a warning like, rated R or T for teens. This has QTEs.
Yeah, I agree.
Right on the
I
box.
agree. I have to admit though, that's one of the appeal of these Need for Speed games is I do press the button harder, and I do. I'll sit with my legs up when I'm playing sometimes, and I find that I'm pressing down with my leg, and I find it hysterical because I'm like, you're not driving the car.
Yeah. Well, the new PlayStation controllers, that might actually work.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny that my brain gets so into it sometimes that I like do these things or where games where you lean forward to make that jump. I think that's hysterical.
I do see people when they're playing 3D games. Sometimes they try to look around the corner.
Yeah, it's just instinct. Yeah,
Like, no, you can't.
it's like when you're driving the car and the bird comes too low, so you duck.
Yeah,
It's just instinct.
Yeah.
I find that amusing though.
that is cool. Jeez.
So anyway, so I think you were still going to give me one though. I just did Dragon's Lair, so I think what do we got next on your list?
This is funny. So it's Batman: Arkham Asylum.
On the PC?
No, specifically the Xbox 360.
Okay, why specifically the Xbox?
Well, because as you know, Xbox 360 was well known when it came out to be a. I need to send this back because I got the Red Ring of Death.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So
gotcha.
it's well known. I mean, really well known. In fact, I had to send mine back.
Yeah.
And it was out of warranty when I sent mine back, and they did repair it anyway.
That's classy. That's what I'm talking about.
But it was a big controversy. So then I get Batman Arkham Asylum, and unfortunately, I've looked at my list, and there's several games that are kind of spoilers if you've never played them.
Yeah.
But this game is like 30 years old, so I'm going to spoil.
Oh
this
yeah,
one scene.
I got a couple spoilers. I even know what you're going to talk about.
So there's a scene in the game where all of a sudden the game crashes.
Yeah.
Literally, and check it on YouTube sometime. It looks like the game it freezes and the screen goes black.
Oh, that's awesome.
It goes black for it feels like an eternity. And you're like, seriously, I said shit. I'm like, I didn't save. I don't know when the last time I saved.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden the game starts over. It starts over, and then you're like thinking, and you're seeing the Batmobile driving just like the beginning of the game, and then it zooms in instead of you driving, the Joker's driving.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's good.
I hate you, but I love it.
You just entirely got me.
Yeah, you got me so hard, and I like that blew my mind. I'm like, a game. How many games crash on purpose?
Just completely F with you like
Yeah,
that. Oh
totally
yeah,
F with
it's
you.
fantastic.
I was like, that's just genius. And so that made it stick in my mind as like, this is a well thought out game.
I'm going to be hip and say I believe the game trolled you.
It trolled me.
Yep.
It trolled me hard, and I'm not the only one. If you look on the internet, it bothered a lot. A lot of people were mad than happy, right?
Oh, it's just fun.
Yeah, you're like, shh. Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it felt like a long delay before it came back, and then when it did come back, it was like, oh, the game rebooted, it restarted.
Yeah, exactly. You have no idea what's going on, and then
Yeah.
when you do, it's
So the
just-
whole first sequence played the same way, where you're wheeling in the Joker strapped to a gurney into the insane asylum, but this time it was you.
Yeah,
It was just kind of cool.
that's great.
It tried to be the Scarecrow that did that to you.
Gotcha.
On your head, but it was cool. It was pretty badass.
Yeah,
So,
that is neat.
so it stuck with me. I would say a lot of my cooler experience I've had where games surprised me because I was a PC guy for the longest time. Because I didn't really have many consoles. I didn't have the PlayStation 1. I had like Nintendo 64 just shortly, and I didn't have many games for it. So I was really a PC person.
Okay.
And I took a chance in the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And because, I felt the consoles were inferior to the PC.
Yeah.
And
That's right. I said it.
yeah, but I felt like the Xbox 360 was the first time I felt like the gap was shrinking.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's getting closer, where it's almost the same thing. And these games were a unique experience.
Oh,
So
sure.
I really-
But you were wrong then, still.
Yeah.
PCs.
Well, I would say the brand new Xbox that just came out is a PC.
No, that I agree. We're personally, I think that whole console versus PC is a stupid argument for two reasons. One, PC.
Yeah.
Simply because you can always upgrade it.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not even a fair fight. But the other reason I think it's stupid is exactly what you just said. eventually they're going to be one and the same. You won't be able to determine what's a PC versus what's a console, and we're closer with every generation here to that.
Yeah.
So what difference does it make?
No, yeah, the whole point was the games didn't crash
Yeah.
until I played Batman and the damn thing crashed on me.
Yep.
Actually, other games did crash on me too on the Xbox 360.
So you're recommending it. See, that's the irony of it. So you're recommending it because with the Xbox's instability,
Yes.
it seemed more authentic when it
Yeah, I was like,
crashed.
because the last game I just played from Oblivion game with it just before, and they crash all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Fallout 3, man.
Yeah, Fallout 3. Well, Fallout 3
GOG.
didn't crash on the Xbox 360 anywhere near as much as it did on the PC.
Oh man, the
'cause it
Windows
was Steam.
version is the Steam version is it's unplayable.
GOG one
GOG
works
is
flawless.
Yep, like a champ.
Yep.
I still got to go back to New Vegas. People
New
love
Vegas.
that game.
It is a good game.
They talk about it, and they talk so badly about 4, and I don't know why. I thought 4 was a fine game. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I liked it better than 3, I think, and 3 was a great game too.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digress.
That's what we do.
It is what we do. It's a
Yes.
show about digressing. Yeah, see, it's funny that mine are well, no, I guess some are surprises, but the next one is just Gauntlet. I mean, I'm talking the OG
first
arcade,
one,
4
4
people
player top-down.
playing a game
Yeah.
at once. Holy shit! And
That was
I'm
cool.
of that age, where I'm fucking old, yeah. That blew my mind. Like, what do you mean 4 of us can play at once? That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Not to mention, Gauntlet's a pretty cool game.
Well, it's more fun when you have 4 friends.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I didn't have that. I mean, it was just theoretically if I ever got
Yeah.
any more of them.
Yeah, I think I played the green guy whenever I played.
I mean,
Archer? I forget.
the green guy was the archer. Yeah, I do know.
Old too.
Yeah. Red was the warrior.
Yeah.
The wizard was yellow,
Yellow.
I think, and the Valkyrie was blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, great game. I mean, I definitely enjoyed that game, and that just again, my mind was completely blown by that. And there's plenty of 4-player games, but I think that was the first. If I'm not, certainly the first I ever saw.
It's got to be one of the earliest ones, yeah.
Yeah, first one I ever saw for certain. So,
A good recommendation. I like that one.
all right. So what do you got?
Oh, my
Next one's a spoiler too.
Oh, I actually could put check boxes. All right, so this one is a little bit of a cheat because it's a couple of things in this one game,
Ooh.
and the game is The Last of Us.
Okay.
And again, you haven't played the game. I don't know if you ever will play the game, but
I believe I booted it once.
at some point, you probably know some of the spoilers that's already in the game since it's been around forever.
I think I
would
made it
hope.
to the part where it said start
Yeah.
options.
So there is a well-known people. It's one of those things where people like record themselves playing these games, and there is there's YouTube videos dedicated
I've seen a
to
playthrough.
watching grown men cry during the opening sequence of the game.
Oh, okay. I've seen a playthrough of it.
Oh, so you've seen the play?
Yeah, I don't remember. They don't shoot a dog, do they?
No.
They can shoot all the kids
The
they want.
second game they do though.
Yeah, you can shoot all the kids you want. I
Yeah.
won't care.
No, this
Don't shoot a dog.
So yeah, his daughter dies in the opening section of the game, and then goes 20 years later.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like the first time a game really felt like it was a story, more than just I'm just there to kill zombies.
Yeah.
So I got teary-eyed. I did.
So it had a little bit of character development, and you were vested.
I was invested right away, and I really like the character of Joel. And now this won't give away the ending, but the game ends like an indie movie would. It ends with him telling a lie.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how it ends. And she's like, "Okay, credits."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a story there."
Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed how they did it. I enjoyed how the game played. I enjoyed all the character development, and a lot of people died in the game, that you might care about. And same thing happened in the second game, and I've actually replayed the second game, and I like it better than the first time I played it, even though they killed off some people I really didn't want to die.
Okay.
And then there's a scene with the game was genius because the game would slow down every now and again, and you would see like nature take back, the environment.
Yeah.
And there was a scene where an animal, I'm not going to say what animal it was, but an animal shows up, and you're like, it looks so real, and it's just neat. And it was like, you're in the middle of killing and killing. All of a sudden, everything just slows down and stops, and you pet this animal.
Oh.
And it's just like, wow, this game really. That's why people got death threats when the second game came out and they killed the main character.
Nice.
But yeah,
What is with all the death threats?
I don't know.
Chill the fuck
There's
out,
death
people.
threats going out, and that God of War Ragnarok being delayed another year.
That's great. The end of the world is going to be delayed another year. You think that'd be a good thing?
Yeah, you would think, but yeah.
What do I know?
I don't know. So yeah, Last of Us, it moved me, and it was a great game on top of it.
Yeah, I have nothing against it. That's one of many on the long,
Yeah.
long list of
Yeah.
games I'll never get to
Never get to.
because who has the time?
Well, just wait for the HBO special since they have all the actors lined up, and I think they're going to start filming it of the TV
And you know
series.
what? I wish them the best. They have all the material they need to make
Yeah.
a great show. There's like a 3% chance they will.
Well, I think they do better in HBO than they do in
HBO
movies.
shows. I'm not kidding,
Because
man.
Witcher was good.
Any of them, HBO,
Yeah.
Showtime, Cinemax. I will give them all
Yeah.
props for this. When they make a TV show, they seem to understand the concept of you need to pay the writers. So I will take the shittiest HBO show over the best primetime show any day of the week.
I agree. So I think there's a good chance it might be a good show.
All right.
And they seem to hire a decent cast to tell it. And hopefully they make up for the second part of the video game that kind of sucked. Because that's the thing. Now they have now it's not a perfect game anymore. Now it's a sucky piece, so they can go up from there.
Okay, yeah.
So especially if they change a little bit of it. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
I mean, yeah, it's another. Well,
Yeah.
I did read an article. They said the next outbreak probably be based on fungal, and that's what this game is a fungal outbreak.
Nice.
So it might be foretelling.
Oh, we got zombies coming.
Your game.
Okay, so my third one, because again, without sub bullets, my third game. Spoiler alert. If you play this game, I'm going to talk about what the boss at the end of it looks like. It was a game called The Legend of Zelda.
I'll never play that game, but
I'm going to ruin it for you, buddy.
yeah, but I know of the game. I probably played a few moments. of
When
it.
the game was released, there was a contest where it was, can you beat this game? And if so, call this number and tell us what the boss looks like.
Yeah.
Because you never would have guessed. It would have taken a lot of phone calls before you randomly said, he's basically a turquoise elephant.
Oh.
And my mind was blown by that. I don't know what I was expecting exactly, but turquoise elephant wasn't high on the list.
No.
That's basically it.
They're not terribly dangerous.
So yeah, it's an invisible turquoise elephant if you want to get technical, but you can make him appear so you can then discern that he's in fact turquoise and elephant-ish. But yeah, that blew my mind when I finally got to him, and again, don't know what I was expecting. Wasn't that?
Yeah. Definitely not.
How'd you like that spoiler? By the way,
A spoiler.
that's what. That's
Turquoise elephant.
like.
I'll probably if
at
I ever
least
play the
30
game, I'll
years.
forget.
That's at least 30 years. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
spoiler
an
right
old
there.
game. Yeah. Trust me, I got an old game coming up.
My next one's old too, but
Yeah.
actually most of mine are old. I'm old.
Well, the good news is my next game won't spoil it because you already played the game.
Okay.
But it surprised the hell out of me. Mass Effect 2.
Okay.
The game opens with the main character dying.
Yeah.
I'm like, who does that?
Yeah.
Who kills the main character first?
Well, that was a fun
seconds?
game.
Yeah, I was like, I won. But no, I found that a very shocking moment in a video game where like, as soon as the game starts, he's dead.
You're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was it.
It's quite the story. It is quite the attention getter.
Yeah, it was just, and they did it well because it's like you can just see him. He saves the last people on the ship. Next thing you know, you just see the air, and he's trying to plug it up, and then he just
I didn't see
floats
any
away.
of it. I did not see any of that. I saw her do that because I'm a femship.
Which I'm doing a femship playthrough that I started recording. I just gotta get the recording just right. But yeah, it's a different experience. I tell you right now, it's a completely different experience.
I believe.
It's a whole different game. So I think everyone should play. Now that I'm playing femship, it's worth playing both fem and male ship.
No, if I ever go back and because I have the third one now too, so
Yeah. The way they deliver their dialogue completely different, and it gives a different mood. It does. It changes the mood, how you deliver the lines.
I believe it.
So I'm not saying it's good or bad or worse. It's
Just
they're different.
Yeah.
And it is like a different experience. I'm excited playing through this playthrough.
I like my femship actually. She was kind of badass.
I'm using the default femship because they screwed her up in the first couple of games, and then they finalized what she's going to look like in the third one. So when you play the new Legendary Edition, it looks like Mass Effect 3 version of her.
Okay, I got you.
So it's well, the graphics are better.
Yeah,
she's kind of cute too.
it's fantastic.
I mean, you could customize her any way you want, but I go the default face.
I don't remember what I did. I know what she looked like, but I just don't know what
you
I
went default.
customized. I might have.
There's no way you customize.
It's
Like, who cares?
actually
I never see her face anyway.
That's a good point. Actually, you make it's just entirely my logic.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50 sliders.
Can I
No.
customize her butt? Because that's what I'm going to be seeing.
Yeah.
Pretty much the
The
entire
whole game. Yeah. Yeah. Is it slappable? Yes or no to the checkbox. That's it.
That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
You got a good point there.
Yeah. I can just see it now. Nope.
Nope. That's you're probably right.
Yep.
So number 4 for me was the game Metroid, and once again,
I know
another
of the
game that is both from an era.
Yep.
What, late
Nintendo?
80s?
Was that Nintendo? Played
yeah,
that? Yeah,
late
it was
80s
Nintendo
maybe.
Metroid, yeah.
Maybe early 80s, but I don't
Yeah.
want to say early 80s, so we're going to say late 80s to feel
Yeah.
better about it.
Yeah.
And you had to beat the game in order to do this, to learn this. And in fact, you had to beat it under a certain time.
Yeah.
And you learn that Samus, the main character there, is in fact a girl.
Yep. I saw that. So somebody put a video out like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was surprised too, just by the video. I was like, oh.
Was blown away by that, which was even cooler, is then you got to play through the game as her.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
so you didn't wear the suit, you just looked like a girl running around, and I
Yeah.
entirely did that.
That's cool.
That game was tremendous back in the day.
That would have been impactful if I played that as a child.
And my friend Tyson had a shout out Tyson. My friend had a surround sound system, which honestly in those days was kind of mind blowing in itself. But he played that game with it on the surround sound, and it was just it's weird, like weird. It was a weird vibe all around. The music's odd to that game,
Yeah.
so it was neat. So all right, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to do a spoiler-free version of this,
Ooh,
but it's Mass Effect 3.
okay.
That was very impactful, and I will try to dance around it. But basically, in the game, a main character that has no business dying dies,
Okay.
and there's nothing you can do about
Oh,
it.
they fucking cut the head off of Eddard Stark.
And yeah, they did. They pulled a Stark, and I'm not the only one that cried because he was a really good character,
Yeah.
or she was a really good character.
That's funny.
And it was just great. It was a good scene. It was a good death. I would say that wasn't like Harry Potter where what's his name got sucked into the mirror and that was it. It was a good death.
I'm just thinking, Mass Effect 2, I don't think I want to continue my save into 3 because remember
you killed everybody.
my whole crew died. The
Yeah.
only person I miss
Yeah.
is the lady who stood there next to the bridge and said you had mail every once in a
Yeah,
while.
yeah. Because you can save her too. You can save everybody.
Yeah, I didn't save her. I missed her.
Yeah, and you can have a relationship with her, which is weird.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Occasionally she'd say, hey, you got mail.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, but you can actually have a relationship.
No,
with
that's
her.
as far as I wanted
Yeah,
to take
yeah.
things. I didn't want
Yeah,
to,
you don't want to go.
didn't want to get too
Yeah,
serious.
you don't want to get. Yeah, you don't want to know her name.
seemed like a bit of a commitment.
Yeah. So Mass Effect 3, you get attached to these characters because a lot of these characters are in all 3 games, and you're like, and then when they get killed off, you're like, ow, that kind of sucked.
Dude, I was
Kinda
crushed
sucked.
in the first one when the lizard man, I couldn't find a way to not shoot him in the face.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I wasn't trying to shoot him in the face. In fact, it's like the first time in video games I wasn't actively trying to shoot somebody in the face.
Rex.
But yeah, I could not keep him alive no matter what I
And
seemed
he's
to
a
do.
fun character to
And I
bring with
wanted
you.
to keep him alive.
He's
yeah.
fun. He's great dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's I'm sure there's a ranking system out there that says all the best characters, and Garrus is number 1 for everybody.
Yeah, I would take Garrus and the Dinosaur Rex there, yeah.
Yeah, so they interact off each other. So if
Entirely.
you bring a pair of people, especially in the second game, there's one that's like painted up and kind of like punker,
Yeah.
and you bring her up with Miranda, they like argue the whole time.
Yeah, I don't like Miranda. In fact, if I ever play the second one again, she's entirely getting sacrificed.
She's gonna sacrifice. That's awesome. Poor Miranda. She was just made that way. You know that, right?
Whatever.
She's genetically
getting
altered.
sacrificed. I entirely killed.
Yeah.
That's my only regret about the second one.
Yeah.
Not that my entire crew died.
Yeah.
Just the fact that I sacrificed the wrong person at the end of it.
Oh, jeez. And I love that sniper guy who's on like dying. You know, he was awesome too. There's so many good characters in the second game. But yeah, when this character died off in the third game, it was heartbreaking, and yeah, the internet shook. Because trust me, there's a lot of pages devoted to this sad moment. You know?
Okay.
So that it affected me. It was a sad moment in a video game, which doesn't happen that often, really, until like last 5-10 years, where you have these really sad moments.
I'm going to jump ahead to 7 for my next
Yeah.
one because it falls right in line with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Final Fantasy VII, Aerith dying. Who the hell saw that? You know, And yeah, you got it on it. You got it written down because yeah, who saw that coming?
So what do you call her?
You know, I just called her Eris,
That's not her name.
but no, it's not. It's Aerith.
Yeah, it's
And I
Aerith.
know that.
Yeah, mistranslation. I googled it.
Yeah, it's irritating. The new ones have the name wrong, but
No, the new one's Aerith.
the new one's Aerith.
The new one's Aerith.
Oh, so the old one's Ares.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the original one and the very first Final Fantasy VII, they released in Kingdom Hearts. Again, they all corrected the name to Aerith.
Oh, see, it matters not if
Yeah.
it's the I'm
Yeah.
OG, so
Yeah, yeah, but in Japanese it was always Aerith. They just translated wrong to Eris. So it was always Aerith.
I don't think that
They
makes
fixed
any bit of sense actually. Anyway,
But the writer said that's what they wanted it to be, so it was American translators who translated it wrong. That's
Yeah.
not what they never meant it for it to be Eris. It was
Well,
always
tough shit.
Aerith.
welcome to America.
Welcome to America. You said it wrong. But her name is Aerith according to the creators.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, anyway, that was I did not cry.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I cried, but I gasped.
I was pretty shocked. Yeah, it was like wow. It was one of those like you see it coming.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, they're gonna wuss out. They're never gonna do this.
Yeah.
And oh my god, they did it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very Mass Effect 3-ish where there's a character like her is very kind-hearted and did not deserve any of that.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a sweet character too. It's like you don't expect that character to get stabbed in the back. with a
Whoever that
giant
woman
sword.
is that wrote the Hunger Game trilogies,
Yeah.
for some reason I read those.
Yeah.
Killing Primrose was simply gratuitous, and I literally said as I read it, if you kill Prim, I'm never reading any of your crap again. And you know what, woman? Whatever your name is, I'm never reading any of your crap again.
I read those books too, and I thought the same thing.
It was gratuitous.
and it didn't. And I'm like, it didn't help the story
It
in any way.
added nothing whatsoever.
Prim had no reason to even be there where she got killed. It made no
Completely
sense.
gratuitous.
Yep.
It was completely
I
unnecessary.
should kill somebody important.
And I basically said, if you kill Prim, you're a douchebag. So, woman, whatever your name is, which isn't even worth remembering,
Yep.
you're a douchebag.
I think it was like Sarah McLaughlin or something.
That's fantastic. Sarah McLaughlin, author of The Hunger Games.
Yes. You heard it here first.
But it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree with the same thing. And actually, I used to read books back in those days, and I read those books, all three of them.
All I can think is who's saying turn up the radio.
Oh, it was what, farted of Madonna farted it. She farted, turned up the radio. That's an old podcast. That was,
Oh, my word.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yes. That's how much talent she has.
props to Madonna.
Yeah.
Alexa told us that one day, in case you're wondering where this comes
Yeah. I was like, what?
from. Okay, well, number 5. And number 5 is one with 2 sub-bullets, so they're
Yep.
going to count them separately, even though it's number 6 because I went out of order. Wolfenstein 3D. I mean, seriously, that was just kaboom. Oh, you have that one as well?
No, I was
Oh,
actually
okay.
checking off Aerith.
Oh, okay, because Wolfenstein was
I now have 12.
just, I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you could move in you could move in 3D.
Multiple dimensions,
Yeah,
yeah.
you couldn't move in 4D. Would that be no? It's not
no.
true 3D because you can move up or down.
Well,
But
that's
it-
still 3D, just didn't have.
Yeah, I don't know what the nomenclature is.
Verticality.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the nomenclature is, but either way,
Yeah.
I mean that was effed up. And it's funny. I talked about you can kill all the humans you want. You don't hurt the puppy.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I shot a lot of German dogs. A lot of them.
Yeah, they came after you.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Cartoon.
It was just fantastic. And so yeah, that was definitely. I know the graphics are just abysmal by comparison to today's standards, but I mean that's where it started.
Yeah, I didn't have a PC until Doom was out, so that was my first. I played Wolfenstein 3D, but way after it came out.
Oh, I didn't have a
So
PC. I played
Doom.
it at school.
So I played it. Yeah, I played on a PC, Doom, and then immediately after that,
Wow.
Duke Nukem came out.
Oh, see, you just did my sub bullets. So Doom
Sorry.
completely blew
Yeah.
my mind. But that required 4 meg of RAM, and
Oh, I understand that. Whoa.
I had 2. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean the graphics on Doom. This is so comical
But it
to
had
me.
good music though.
But I mean, you look at
Yeah.
Doom now, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, those graphics were just horrible. When I say they were mind-blowingly good,
Yeah.
I mean that. They like when I first saw Doom, I was like, oh my god, look how good that
Yeah.
looks.
IDDQFK.
Yeah.
That's all the weapons, right?
IDQ.
Fully.
I
I think that did all the weapons with all maxed out ammo.
Okay, maybe I don't know.
I think that's
yeah.
the weapon one. The God. I forget the God one was.
Yeah.
The God one was something else. That one, I think that one recharge all your weapons.
The BFG. It's great.
BFG, yeah, BFG.
And then right underneath Doom, I wrote Hail to the King, baby.
Oh, Hail to the King! Oh yeah, Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem was a couple things. One, can now look up and down.
And fly up and down.
And fly up and down.
Yeah.
Two, you could just hand strippers money and say, shake it, baby.
Yeah, shake it, baby. Yeah.
And without a doubt, number three being the best, you could run into a room, shoot a rocket launcher, and hear Duke say, your face, your ass. What's the difference? That, I mean, talk about mind blown, because, I mean, seriously, you're playing, you do that, you're like, did he just say what I think he said?
I would say, of all those 3 games, that one I put the most time into.
I played a lot of Duke. Not kidding. I'm a fan of Duke Nukem. Like not only did I buy Duke Nukem Forever for a certain, when it came out, paid full price kind of thing. Yep. I had a game called Bulletstorm, and they had a DLC come out where you could just flat out replace the main character with Duke Nukem. Entirely got that and played through the game again, and it was absolutely fucking hysterical.
That's awesome. So I think I told you before, but I'll tell the people too. When I got Duke Nukem, I had a couple PCs at home. So I went to Best Buy, purchased 2 copies of Duke, a kit. It was a Duke Nukem networking kit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Came with 2 Duke Nukems, 2 network cards with a BNC coax connector to connect them. So you had to run a wire from one computer to another to the BNC. So that's like, what, 10 base 2? I forget what that, I think that's what that
I'm going to flex a nerd muscle here. What's the BNC stand for?
Bionomenclature? No, I don't know.
It's a British naval connector.
Ooh, you had to. I remember in the days when I first started, I used to have to troubleshoot networks that had a bad connector. So I had to. The terminator was at the end of it, so I'd have to slowly move the terminator. Oh, network is not up yet. Go to the next one, and keep going backwards in the line until I figure out where it broke, because the chain had to be totally good all the way through. It was terrible technology. But that's how I played it for the longest time. That, and I used to play it at work, too. I played a lot of games at work in my life. But
I actually had a friend, and we'd take 2 TVs.
Yeah.
We'd put them back to back, and we'd hook up 2 PlayStation 1s with a cable, like LAN cable.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
play it that way. And
good old days.
Multiplayer games are the shit.
I know.
It's just fun. There's nothing like shooting your friend in the face. It's just not.
Yeah, that's very much what we did. Is we just shot each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just I seriously, in video games, how many times do you think you killed me?
More than you killed me.
Yeah, it's a good answer. I believe that too. But I must have killed you 10,000 times. Yeah, 10,000 easily.
So I killed you about 12,000.
And and I gotta say, I'm looking forward to the next 10. Like it never ceases being amusing.
Yeah, just watching and you say shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I like Unreal Tournament, because it evokes emotion from me.
Yeah, you get angry. God damn it! How'd you see me?
Yeah, exactly. Or you shoot me when I don't even see you, and it's just like all of a sudden I'm dead. And, But anywho,
it's a blast.
It really is.
So yes, I celebrate all those games, and yes, I was Duke Nukem was not on my list, but should have been. That was
It's his demeanor is what blew my mind.
Yeah, it was a milestone in my gaming life.
Yep,
definitely. Can be demarked by before and after Duke Nukem.
Nice, I love it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's awesome. Agreed. So what else you got, buddy?
What's my next one? Okay, I don't think you'll ever play this game. I really don't. So I don't know what I should do with spoilers on this, but there's a game that came out called Life is Strange.
Okay, I know what you speak. You can ruin the hell out of it.
The game actually by some French Canadian company made it, but they basically filmed it, or not filmed it, but created it. And Astoria, Oregon, was their, what they based the whole town on.
Okay.
So it's Kindergarten Cop, Goonies.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's the same. It's the exact same town. You can tell the bay and everything is the same. You can even see the rocks from the Goonies.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the game is you play a female protagonist, Max Caulfield. And you suddenly realize you have the ability to roll back time.
Okay.
Short amounts of time.
Yeah.
But
can you find a way to take back all those words that would hurt you? And oh wait, I'm
how's that go?
Share. Just roll back time.
If I could turn back time. Yeah. Well, as it turns out, the game was apparently not designed to be a happy game. So there are scenes in the game where you go back in time and you have a best friend that you had a falling out with, and you go back in time. Because you can go back in time and look at old photos. Yeah. So you go back in time and her father gets killed, and it kind of like ruins her life, and she becomes so she's like, oh, she's back in time. She can convince her father to not go take that car ride the next day.
Yeah.
And she convinces him he doesn't. Well, there's
Is it a Final
Ripple effect.
Destiny thing? Yeah, yeah.
It's a
I
ripple
wanted to
effect.
does he just die
So,
the next day?
No,
via a
returns
meteor?
back to the present age.
Yeah,
Everything is normal. He's alive. She's now in a wheelchair and wants to commit suicide.
that's fantastic.
The game is like, when you play the game, I wouldn't be surprised. It's the only game I ever played where I hyperventilate in the damn thing. It was so sad.
Because you just didn't know what. Okay.
It was just so sad.
Gotcha.
Every moment, even the ending, because you have a choice. You can actually pick which ending you have, and they're both depressing. There's no happy ending in this game.
So do you recommend this game?
I highly recommend the game if you feel like crying your eyes out, because it's a really good game.
It's a weird thing to me.
But it's
a weird thing to me that there are times where you're like, I'd love to feel like shit right now.
I feel like a good cry. No, you never feel like a good cry? I feel like a good cry sometimes.
No,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm fighting it back at any moment, every second of every day.
I thought you were angry.
I am too.
Yes, it's a good game because it's rare when a game can pull out such strong emotions. Because, I get teary-eyed and stuff in some games. But this game, I was like, I can't believe that happened kind of thing.
Oh, that's great.
It was harsh. And I've never played a game like that before.
See, my problem is I just don't think I care as much as you do.
Yeah, I gave a shit. I really got invested in these characters. And you're trying to help these people. And everything you did, you're making it worse.
Okay.
It's just messed up. It just messed up.
Completely non sequitur, has nothing to do with
Yep.
this. We have to play Phantasmophobia there again.
Oh, yeah, I would like to play that game.
I enjoyed that game as dumb as it
I
was.
did yell out once.
Mickles, one night you left here,
Yeah.
and we talked about it on other shows, but great game. Phantasmophobia is basically you're ghost hunters. You go into haunted houses, and I have to admit, it scares the hell right out of you. The problem is I don't react to much. Like I'm not very, and I mean, I'll be honest. You gave me the biggest jump scare of the game, though.
Yeah.
Just because he ran right at me, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just
I'm going for him.
Yeah, just. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, it's my natural instinct to go for him in every game. If I could see you, I'm jumping for you. I'm trying to kill you with a flashlight.
So, despite all the zombies and monsters and shit jumping at us, he just freaking charges me, scared the hell right out of me.
Yeah. Hello.
But one of the things we were doing, which in hindsight, we didn't even know how to play the game, because remember we used to say, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
When you could just read it in the van before you go in.
Oh.
And we didn't know it at the time, so we'd go into these houses and we'd be yelling into our mics, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And so one night you leave, I go to bed, and Mikkel's been asleep for hours, and I get into bed, and she just says, "Who are you?"
It's a ghost.
I almost pissed my pants.
It's awesome.
It's just we're louder than we think with the headphones on.
Yeah, you can't tell.
But
We're
yeah,
probably
so
screaming right now.
sorry, you were talking Life is Strange, but that popped into my head that I enjoyed that game, and I look forward to playing it with
The
you
game
again
is beautiful.
sometime.
Yeah, and it was. I do recommend the game. But yeah, you're in
But
for a
it's miserable.
slog.
Okay.
It's a game you can't play more than once.
Okay.
But what I find it interesting, here's the interesting part, is that there's a lot of scenes. There's a scene where there's one girl who tries to commit suicide and she can't succeed. Anyways, it shows statistics and everyone else has played the game of if they succeeded, what percentage of people.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that every little section of the game, they have little stats.
So you didn't want to go back, though, and make different decisions?
Well, I didn't go back the entire game, but I might have gone back like one chapter.
Okay.
Or like at the very end of the game, I wanted to see both endings.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're not both. One's horrible and one's bad.
Nice.
But it's not bad for the reasons you think. It's like everyone lives. Well, sort of.
There's worse things than dying.
Yeah, it's weird. So one, you have to sacrifice your friend, basically go back to the beginning of the game and not save her life.
Okay.
That's one possible ending.
Yeah.
Because that's how the whole game starts. She saves
Yeah,
your
that's
best friend's life.
unfortunate, but I mean, it might be a numbers game at that point.
But
Like,
then
if doing that saves like 10
the
million
entire
people.
town.
Yeah, you got nothing to think about. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, buddy.
But the other ending, you're going to say, let's just take off together and screw this town, and the town gets destroyed.
It's just to me, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, but
I'm a greater good kind of guy.
But yeah, so they're not. So you can tell there's no good ending. It's both. It's sad in some way.
Well, there's no right answer, either.
Yeah, there's no answer. So I guess it's a good game because there's lessons there in this game. You know, it's saying something.
What are the lessons?
Screw everyone, man.
We're blowing up this fucking town.
Yeah,
There's
blow it
your
all
lesson.
up. I like the ending. No, because
Have you ever seen the movie Burn After Reading?
No, I've heard of the movie.
I highly recommend it. Actually, great movie. It's a quirky as hell movie. It's got Super Clooney in it. I freaking love. I mean, I think we can all agree universally. George Clooney, we all love him, right? Like,
Yeah.
Even if you don't like Clooney, I think you kind of love Clooney. But it's got Clooney in it. It's got God, how can I not remember her name right now? Frances McDormand. Who I love.
her. Yeah, she's been in everything
It's got
these days.
Brad Pitt in it. It's got John Malkovich in it.
Oh,
It is hysterical.
excellent actor.
But it's also got, these are great because I don't know either of these guys' names. State Farm Insurance Guy,
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Could say Oz or the Drummer movie, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
But State Farm Insurance Guy
Yeah.
and Sledgehammer are in the final scene.
Oh, yeah.
You know Sledgehammer I'm talking about? Like Sledgehammer, two things come to mind immediately.
Are you
Peter
talking about
Gabriel and then the show
The
Sledgehammer.
show where you're the cop.
Yeah, and I have no idea what the guy's name is. I'm sure he has one. I think
Yeah.
it's Sledgehammer.
Mike Sledgehammer.
Well, I call him Sledgehammer
Yeah,
for
I think it's
like
Mike
the
Sledgehammer.
rest of his
Yeah,
life. He
something
will
like
be
that, yeah.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
So he was. So the end of that movie, I think of it all the time in my life because it's all this shit goes down. But they have this conversation because the State Farm guy is basically like the head of the FBI, CIA, one of those, and he says, "So what?" He says, "Sledgehammer. So what did we learn?" Sledgehammer says, "I don't really know." He's like, "Well, what happened here?" Yeah, don't really know. He's like, well, don't let it happen again. it's just a great conversation.
Yeah.
I think I fucked up the order. I think it's what do we know? We don't know anything.
Yeah.
Well, what do we learn here? Yeah, we didn't learn anything. Don't let it happen again. And I think of that
Very
scene
clever.
often because it just applies to life so often. But so that sounded like a very, as you described, Life is Strange's
Yeah.
moral there. That I thought of that.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
did we learn here?
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
God.
ever do that again.
Just don't
Yep.
do that again.
Yep.
It's hysterical. All right, well, we're getting through our list here.
Yeah.
Next one, there's not much to talk about, but the
Yeah.
first Diablo, when it came out,
Yep.
blew my mind. It was so dark, such a dark story. I'd never encountered anything like that. Personally, I think Diablo 2 and 3 lost this. The first one was a scary game. It was kind of creepy. Like the first time a horned demon attacked my dude, I shit myself. Like I jumped.
Yeah.
And you know I have no reaction to anything.
No, not at
And
all.
I jumped. It was a creepy game. And I definitely dug that, but it blew my mind at the time. I'd never seen a game that dark and bloody, and it was something. So, again, not much to say about it.
No,
but
I got
it
some
did blow my
short
mind.
ones, Yeah.
So what do you got?
BioShock
Okay.
Infinite.
Oh, I still haven't played that one.
So I'll try to tread carefully on this one because worth playing. So yes, there was a moment in the first game that you played, and it's infamous moment where you realize you're just being hypnotized the whole time. That was cool. But in BioShock Infinite, they were playing with time, so it was more complex.
Okay.
I like that, and there's this. So when you first meet, you play, I forget the name of the guy you play, but you end up going to this city in the clouds, and you meet this girl that you're tasked to rescue.
Okay.
So the whole time she has a thimble over her finger,
Okay.
and you don't know why the whole time. And there's a moment, and it seems so weird and obscure.
I bet I know.
That-
It's her favorite Monopoly piece.
It is a very Monopoly piece. But when you find out how she lost her finger, and that is just like a cap
Okay.
over a stub, is what it's there. And you find out that she lost it when she was a baby, and it's a whole time like weird circular thing. When you find out why she lost her hand, I gasp. I'm like, oh, that means this, and it pieced
Oh,
everything
nice.
together. So
It was the
that
linchpin.
finger was a linchpin, and it was a moving, magical genius. These guys know how to write.
Nice.
Because I think the original writer from the first game came back for the third game because he didn't write the second game.
Oh, okay.
So he
This-
likes to make things complex.
The second game I gave up on because it was just more of the same, and I didn't care.
It was another company put it out. They're like, here, just make more of the same, please.
That's what it felt like, and I just fell on interest. It's funny though. I would describe BioShock as a fantastic game. You definitely should try it.
Yep.
Not for the hook at the end though.
Yeah.
I was not. I was like, whatever. I wasn't all that impressed by it.
Yeah.
That fucking madman, his brother,
Yeah.
that did the art,
Yeah.
fucking genius. Worth the price
Genius.
of admission alone. I mean, it was pure lunacy.
The game is considered a horror game in some aspects.
I thought
'cause
that-
there's some scary parts. in
I
the game.
thought that bit was so well done in every way, and that was terrifying. That bit.
And another reason why BioShock Infinite is worth playing, not only because it's an awesome story and it's chilling when you figure out its twist, because it has a twist.
Is it because I got it on sale and I already own it?
What is it?
Is it
On
because
sale?
I got it on sale in a bundle and
Yeah,
I already own it?
yeah, you'll
Is
never
that why?
play it, yeah. It's just it's such an awesome game. But there's DLCs for it. And
Okay.
one of the DLCs goes back to the first game. And it's considered one of the best DLCs
Oh, nice.
of the entire series.
Okay.
So Bioshock Infinite is worth playing. It is fun.
I may or may not have the
And
DLCs.
you can cheat. I mean, you've got like the deluxe version. You probably have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I bought it in a
You
bundle. I have no idea
Yeah,
what I have.
you may have it. It's
But,
Under the Sea or something like DLC.
I don't know so much as anything that I don't think there's a game I can't cheat in anymore. For the record, when I say cheat, I don't cheat in multiplayer games. But when it's a single player game, it's almost immediately broken. And if it's not, I will find a way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's very few games. I can't think of a game offhand that I can't find a way at this point. There's so many tools out there.
Yeah. Well, this one you can cheat like hell. And it has some mechanisms that are just make the game fun. There's a rail system you can fight on, like a train tracks, that you like hook on with your arm and you're shooting people and going on a rail. So it's kind of like mixing race car with shooting and stuff. It's cool. It's really cool once you see it.
I have zero doubt that the first game, I probably never lost any health.
Yeah, I get a good feeling you don't lose any health. I didn't lose any health this one either.
I cheated like hell is what I'm getting at. Yeah, so, I guarantee it.
So when they remastered, they actually recently released a remastered version. They didn't have to remaster a third one because it was so new. It was just released as is.
Yeah.
So the game's beautiful, gorgeous game. I think you would like it, especially since
I've not played the ugly remaster.
Yeah.
I played the OG.
The OG. I prefer the OG.
Yeah, you said that because the mud on the windows there.
It made it, like you couldn't see through the windows. Like it was beautiful out in the water. Why would you hide it, dumbasses?
Yeah.
So no, but Bioshock Infinite, definitely worth playing.
All right.
Way better than
It is
Bioshock
on my
2.
list, actually. It is definitely on my list. I just one of many.
I don't know. I got a feeling that you can get through in like 1 or 2 sittings, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I don't think it's not like when you don't get hurt, I think it's not like a 10, 12-hour game.
Yeah, you don't have to fight the boss 20 times to figure out how to beat him.
Yeah.
You just stand there and
You just eventually figure it out.
Eventually his
Enough
hand
grenades,
hurts.
he's
I just stand there and he hurts himself punching me.
Yeah.
Like that hurt your hand, didn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just so cool. I don't know. There's so many scenes that's so cool in that Bioshock Infinite game because it has to do with time travel in a way, like a time loop kind of thing, but not like Groundhog Day kind of loop.
I figured out time travel. The problem is it's only one speed in one direction.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's not necessarily true. You can look back in time just by looking far enough out that way.
That's true. Yeah, actually, you can run with that one for a lot because you could also argue that time travels. Time, like I made this argument today.
Yeah.
When you're on vacation, time travels about 5 to 10 times faster than it does when you're at work.
I know. So slow. Yeah, I agree.
So we can all time travel. Take a day off. Watch how fast it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's even a scene there where there's a couple that shows up in Bioshock Infinite where you have a choice between 1 or 2 different items, and you pick one, and they say, "Oh, we knew we were gonna do that," and they have a chalkboard and they write down, like they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they just you see them cross it, like they're counting how many times you pick that item.
Okay.
So it is cool.
That's weird. Yeah.
The game is worth playing.
That's
I'm not gonna
neat.
say more about it, but it has some good moments in it.
How many are left on your list now?
4.
4. Okay. I think you should do a few more. I only got 2 left.
Okay, this one is gonna be very quick.
Yep.
South Park, going to Canada.
That was good. That was good.
I was like, what?
That would be the South Park, the Stick of Truth,
The Stick of Truth.
and that was genius. It
Yeah.
really was well done.
When you went to Canada, you're like, it's different here.
Yeah, it's different here. I think that game's old enough. That's not a
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
yeah.
If you somehow haven't played that game and intend to and are dying to know what happens,
Yeah.
we're about to ruin Canada for you.
Yeah, Canada.
But the game's beautiful. It looks just
Yeah.
like the show
Yeah, looks exactly like a show. They did a great job.
till you go to Canada.
So you go to Canada, and it looks like Canada.
And then it becomes 8-bit.
Yeah, it's
And
awesome.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it turns to Zelda.
It's just wonderful.
I was like, the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, that is awesome.
There were so many scenes in that game where I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, the freaking code thing with Stan's dad.
Yeah.
You knew they were going to do it, too.
Yeah.
And I mean, I rolled. I'm laughing just thinking about it. But yeah, if you're a fan of South Park at all, both those games are entirely worth playing. They're hysterical.
They're both good, yeah. I've actually replayed them both in the past, year.
I have not, but I would.
Yeah.
I'll say it. I will play them again.
Yeah, they're worth playing. It's pretty good. And there's some DLCs for the second one that I somehow got a discount, so I got them.
Okay.
So there's some extra stuff in the second
Yeah,
game.
I don't think I've played as much as I could on that, so I doubt I have the DLCs.
Yeah, I think I tried to get most of the achievements on it. That's why I played it again. I was
Okay,
trying to
nice.
get because I'm an achievement hunter. I do like doing it. I
awesome.
think it's fun, as long as they're not ridiculous. I hate achievements that require online play.
Okay.
That bothers me.
Again, the only game I platinum is that Need for Speed Heat, and that's just because by the time I looked at what it required, I'm like, oh shit, I'm almost there.
Yep. Oh, and I just I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the show. I platinum God of War.
Yeah,
Yes.
way to go, buddy.
Yeah,
Um,
great game.
why don't you do another one?
I do know. Okay. There's a game that you may have started. I don't think you finished it, but there's a game called Portal 2.
Oh yeah.
And there's a couple moments in there where like you're like, wow, that's just awesome. Because Portal 1 was a good game. I wouldn't say it's a great game. It was a good game. And then Portal 2 came out, and they just took a good game and turned it into a great game. And the moments where Gladys wakes up,
Okay, I haven't made it far, I guess.
that's awesome. And
I made it
Cave
there.
Johnson / Juno's dad,
Yeah.
because that's Juno's dad.
Yeah, isn't that the Stanford guy?
No, that is Farmer's Insurance.
No, that's okay. The farmer's insurance, whatever.
Farmer's Insurance guy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bump, 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 bump.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about before.
Oh, I was thinking Jake from State Farm with the slacks.
Oh, not Jake. No, sorry. No, okay, you're right. Jake
Yeah.
is the State Farm guy, but
Yeah.
no, that's who I was thinking of. The farmer's guy.
Farmer's Insurance guy. Yeah, Juno's
Juno's
dad.
dad. That's what I should have called him.
All of a sudden, he, like, halfway into the game, all of a sudden, he gets introduced to a guy, character named Cave Johnson, and he's hilarious.
Okay.
It was just such a great job.
No, that dude's great, actually.
yeah.
Juno's dad. Yeah, he's fantastic.
And the game is funny. It's interesting. The puzzles are just hard enough where you think you're a genius when you solve them.
Yeah.
And they did that on purpose when they made the game. They didn't want to make them hard. They just wanted to make it just a little bit so that you felt like smart when you completed them.
It takes me a little while, just to figure out what the hell's going on, but I got there quick enough.
I've beaten the game, 10, 20 times.
I'll put it this way. I wasn't stumped when I stopped playing it last. I just was like, okay, we're done now. Like, I made it. I probably finished a puzzle or two and was like, okay, I'm good for a little while.
Yeah, it gets interesting at one point. At one point when Gladys, this is not a giant spoiler, but at one point Gladys gets put into a potato, and that's when the game really gets good.
Of course. Why wouldn't you? Okay. Yeah,
goes-
I haven't even woken up Gladys yet, I guess.
Yeah. So when Gladys gets put in the potato, she just has the funniest lines. She's hilarious. She goes, she goes, way to go. I will use my clap program right now just to clap, saying, thanks for
Fantastic.
doing this. Yeah, great job.
Nice. So, yeah, I don't think that's a very long game either, though.
It's not terribly long, no.
Yeah.
No, because you can divide it up in a few sections. You can divide it up during the first section of Wheatley, who was played by I forget the actors. He was in the original British Office show, I believe. He's a pretty good British actor who plays
Okay.
Wheatley, and he's a comedian. And then there's a section where Gladys is in control. And then
Maybe I
you
did
go to
make it
Cave
Gladys.
Johnson.
See, I don't even remember.
And then it's Wheatley again. So
Okay.
and then you win the game. And I don't know. And the ending, absolute pure genius. Pure genius.
Well, I know the ending. Yeah,
You know the ending.
I do.
How do you know the ending?
I'm just that
Watched a
good.
playthrough, didn't you?
Yeah, I know a thing or two.
Wasn't that a cool ending though?
Yeah.
You had to shoot the
It's
the gun.
spoiling. I love it.
Brr, brr, brr.
It's that game's like 100 years old already too, so
It is.
I don't think you're going to spoil
You
anything.
used the
for anyone.
Half-Life engine.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be too
It's the
spoiled.
same universe too.
But yes,
Love the game.
at some point or another,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I watched a lot of playthroughs.
I would see
I've
that
watched
game
a
has
lot.
a co-op multiplayer, which I always thought would be fun to play, but I never had anybody that would play it with it.
Oh, I play it with you, but you got to understand I'm horrible at that kind of stuff.
You work together. You say, "Hey, do this, and I'll do this, and you do this." Yeah. We
Horrible
gotta
at that kind of
communicate.
stuff.
We'd have to communicate.
Yeah, you'd
God
have to talk to
damn it.
me. You suck at that.
Yeah, I'm terrible at that.
And I'd have to somehow not find a way to
Shoot me or kill
expedite
me.
your demise. Yeah.
Because I've seen playthroughs of it, and yeah, you could kill me. You're like, because you make bridges and stuff, or
Oh,
laser
yeah,
bridges and
entirely.
lava underneath you.
Yeah, like it just
Yeah.
So
But-
between the two of us, yeah, it would be fun.
Yeah, you'd kill me. You're like, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And you wouldn't say something, and I'd walk to my demise, so you deserve it when I killed
I
you
know.
a minute later.
It would take us forever to beat the game.
It would. I'm thinking of the Halo game where we just were like we didn't even know what the mission was because we were so busy killing each
Yeah,
other.
we're just like, yeah, that's it. We're just gonna kill each other.
And then we were crashing the game because it was if you friendly fire in that game, it'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, do you want to terminate this session because Kevin's a dick? And I'm like, yes.
Yes, kick. Yeah, you would kick me.
Yeah, I'd kick you.
Kicked.
I'm
Yeah,
the only
kicked.
one on the server now.
You're by yourself. Are you happy now? Happy now?
Oh, that's great. We're such
You're by
dicks.
yourself.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, it was fun. We should play the Halo game again. We never finished Halo 2.
That's awesome. Yeah, we should. Yeah,
And I
we
think
just
they've
so many
released
games.
the other ones since, too. 'cause
Yeah, that
we've been
master
slowly-
collection there.
Yeah, they've been releasing newer versions. And yeah, the first one was well known for being very unstable on the PC.
Yeah, the first one we can skip, but the second
Yeah.
one was working well.
Yeah, it was working well. We just not playing it
So,
one reason or another. We saw StarCraft or Diablo or something.
Exactly. Or, we did that random thing where we just, sometimes Kevin and I just decide we won.
Yeah, we won.
That was Grim Dawn
Yeah,
because we just didn't know where the end was.
Yeah, it's like, did we win? I think we won.
I think we beat it, maybe.
Yeah, we beat it. Yeah, I've won a lot of games by uninstalling it.
Yep, without a doubt. A lot of games.
So I have 2 games left.
You got 2 left, so so do I. So this is easy, actually. And to be honest, if I had to rank them, I would say this was my number 1. Unreal Tournament, the original.
OG.
I could now play with bots. I could basically play online death matches without being online or dealing with human beings. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread, anything. Like, just, wow. This is like we discovered fire. Unreal Tournament.
Yes. We have bots now. And I like the bots.
Love the bots.
Yeah, love the bots.
Not for nothing.
And they talk trash, too. So.
I'll entirely play. In fact, I'm pretty confident. I'm 98% certain I have it installed right now. The original Unreal Tournament. It's a great game.
I don't have it do I? I may or may not have installed, but I do own it.
It's a great
I purchased the OG version from GOG, I believe.
I bought it. Actually, I think I own Steam and GOG just because a couple bucks. That's another one. I salute you.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I have a couple copies of Unreal Tournament as well.
I got to say that Unreal Tournament Black wasn't a fan. Like, it wasn't that great. And the next one that's coming out in like 2066 or whenever, the one that's like an alpha, beta, I don't even know what the hell it's in. It's been that way for like 10 years. You can go to Epic's site, download it now, and play it. It looks phenomenal. And you can tell they're not even putting all the assets in there.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for like 5 years.
Yeah, I don't know what they're waiting on.
Yeah, it's just, it's tremendous, but huge.
Well, I
huge
know
fan.
I know why you didn't like the black version.
Why?
Because the bass player died in a tragic bus accident.
That's
fantastic.
fantastic.
Never mind.
That was well
Sorry.
done. I'm actually proud of you on that one, though. I'm feeling a swell of pride there. That was really, that was a good joke.
You like that?
I did. Wasn't a dad joke. That was witty. But yeah, Unreal Tournament, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they hold a place in my heart, and one of the few. If it came out tomorrow and cost $70, well, I guess I'm spending $70.
Yep. Yeah.
Wouldn't even think twice.
Definitely. Well, pre-order if they ever put in pre-order.
I mean, honestly, if you pre-ordered it, at this point, it's like you're pre-ordering for like a decade from now.
know.
You might as well. It's like the forever stamp.
Taking so long, man. Jeez. People are playing it.
Fantastic games. But yeah, definitely worth a try. So what do you got, buddy?
All right, so this is a cheat.
The penultimate, by the way.
I got 2 games.
Yeah.
Well, 3 games.
Okay.
But 2 in 1 line. So basically, Bethesda
Yeah.
gets this line because they did the same thing, in my opinion, in 2 games.
All right.
Using the same game engine, by the way. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, when you leave the sewers, and Fallout 3 when you leave the vault.
Okay.
They were both had their own experience. When you leave the vault the first time, it's something you can never get back. Once you see it, you're like, wow. Then you're like, okay, that's cool. But then same thing with Oblivion. When you leave the sewers the first time, because it's the same engine where everything's dark, ugly, not very pretty, and you're like, this is kind of an ugly game. You actually think that when you first start playing it. Then all of a sudden you go outside, and Oblivion had the same thing where you were in the sewers the whole time. That's how the game started. And all of a sudden you're in the game, and they put all this the bloom. It was Xbox 360. I played both of these for the first time, and all of a sudden the world was like colorful and bright lights, and like, wow.
It's
so
magical.
both games did the same thing.
Yeah.
Where they had this down, where they open the game up when you leave the basically tutorial level.
Yep.
And once you get out, you're like, wow, look at this world.
Not for nothing though. Oblivion I haven't played yet, but Elder Scrolls is not a nice series in the sense that maybe they got that way. I mean, but the original, like a Daggerfall I'm thinking of, you could literally play that game for weeks and never get out of that first dungeon. And it was not what I'd call a tutorial dungeon unless you were learning how to die various ways.
And what made Oblivion so cool is it was Patrick Stewart who helped you out of the dungeons. He was the king.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
That is awesome. I love
Oh,
Patrick.
and Sean Bean was in Mr. Bean
Mr.
was in the
Bean.
first game as well,
right.
or Oblivion, not the first game, Oblivion.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah, he played the guy you're trying to save the whole time. So he's
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't think he dies in the
Not
game.
for nothing, yeah. I try to save Mr. Bean.
Yeah, so and he great voice acting in the game too.
I bet.
So Oblivion is worth playing. A lot of people, you know how people like Fallout 3 versus Fallout New Vegas. There's kind of thing like that between Oblivion and Skyrim because those are really the
Okay.
modern games. And a lot of people thought they dumbed down Skyrim. In Oblivion, you can combine potions in any way you want. So
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
can have a healing lightning potion or whatever the hell. You can do whatever you want in the
Yep.
Oblivion 3. And it's definitely worth playing. It's definitely worth
The
playing.
other arena, the one that started it
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
you can make your own spells.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you could, as you did it, the spells would cost so much.
Yeah.
But it was just a text file, so you could go in and edit their cost down to
Oh,
1,
Just one.
and or 0. I think you could
Yeah.
do. And basically, I had had a spell that basically let me eliminate walls.
Mm.
So every maze, I just literally walked straight, and then
Yeah.
because when you got close to the thing you're looking for, it'd light up on the map.
Yeah.
So I just walked straight towards one corner. Nope.
Yep.
It's just walking right through walls the whole time.
Yeah, I feel like they got better at their craft, even though they still have issues with crashing and stuff. But yeah, I think I played Morrowind. Morrowind is cool and neat, but they don't hold your hand. You don't know where to go. There's no waypoints. I think waypoints was a great invention because yes, I appreciate that you want us to just do this on our own and get lost in it, but you can get lost in it.
But yeah, don't want to actually really get lost in
get
it.
lost.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so Oblivion had waypoints, and it was just beautiful. Cyrodiil was in the city you're in, a big tower in the middle. You can see from miles no matter where you went in the map. You can just see this giant tower,
that's neat.
and that was the main city. It was cool. Worth playing.
I beat the first one, and that's one of those series that I do plan on playing through.
Yeah, Morrowind.
I beat the first one in Skyrim.
I keep getting bored. I keep doing Morrowind. I keep launching, getting bored, right? Because it's one of those things. Sometimes you can't go back to a game you never really played that's really old. If you're nostalgic, you can, because you played it before, but I never have. So I don't have that hook where I don't have that motivation.
Where
to
you're
play
just like
Morrowind.
these graphics suck. It's not telling me what to do. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I'm just I have no idea where to go next.
Yeah.
You know, you have to read through dialogue to figure out where to go.
Yep.
You know, and
brutal.
look for landmarks.
Oh yeah, the way the older ones, the way you'd find anybody, it'd be go to this town, find this shop, and the way you'd have to do that is literally you'd have to go find that town, which in itself was a challenge, but you get to that town finally, and you just start talking to people.
Yeah.
Like, do you know where this shop is?
Yep.
And sometimes they'd be like, no idea. If you were nowhere near it in the town, they'd be like, no idea.
Yeah, I'm not where that is. Yeah, so yeah, that's not. I don't have time for that in my life.
Yeah. I don't have time for any of these.
I need a waypoint. So Oblivion had it, easy to play. It had the story wasn't as good as Skyrim's. It had some repetition where you had to keep closing these gates in Oblivion, these hell gates, these Oblivion gates. And that was repetitious, but beyond that, the game was fun. It had all the factions, which I like,
Yeah.
you know, the Thieves Guild and all that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Those were fun.
Yeah.
So I liked all the side stuff.
It's an awesome universe they've created there with the Elder Scrolls series.
Yeah.
But I know the scene you speak of with Fallout, of course.
Oh,
And,
Fallout,
yeah, it was beautiful.
The first time you see it, you can never get that feeling back. You're like, because it's bright white, and then all of a sudden slowly gets into focus.
Fallout 3 and 4, I mean, again, I've not played New Vegas enough. I know people go gaga for it, so maybe I really have to play more of that. But Fallout 3 and 4, 100% my seal of approval. They're fantastic games. Highly recommend them.
Yeah, they're good. And I was lost in it the first time I played Fallout 3 on Xbox 360. No cheating.
God damn. Oh, I was cheating like hell. And I mean, I played through that game so many times, and I just think the first time I was in a tux.
Yep.
And so all those bullet scenes where you shoot somebody like from across the room and it decides like that was so cool, I got to show you in slow-mo.
Yeah.
It's great because I'm just wearing the tux. Another time I was a girl, but I went to the comic store right away and I stole that, like they had that Conan.
Grognak.
Grognak.
Yeah.
I wore the Grognak outfit the whole playthrough.
In the whole playthrough.
And it's just fantastic.
That's awesome.
So yeah, every time you see one of those cutscenes,
Yeah.
she's dressed as Grognak.
Jeez, that's awesome.
It's hysterical.
Yeah, Fallout 3, before the cheating days, Fallout 3, all you had to do is go do the DLCs first.
Okay, yeah.
And you had you were a high enough level and had better weapons than you had in the normal game, where the rest of the game was cakewalk.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what I did when I played the game.
I think all I had to do was
Back in
hit
the
like F1 and then a few number
activate
keys.
it.
Yeah, number keys. That was good.
Yeah. You don't even have to do that with all those games. You don't even
You
need
mod
that.
them,
You can
yeah.
mod them.
I actually, you turned me on to that, basically. It was easier to mod.
Modding is easier. You just put a cheat terminal in the game, and you just launch a cheat terminal, and you say so. And when you do it, when you reload the game, it's already activated.
Yep, exactly.
So
It's
that means
convenient.
you don't even have to load anything in the background. You got it all.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Good games.
yeah. So but the opening moments is what really hooked me to those games. I was like, wow, I'm sucked in these worlds.
It's a good story. It's the characters are well done. The stories are well done. That actually, like that, I'm invested in. To be honest, don't get me wrong. In was it 3 or 4? I can't even remember. I think it was 3. I entirely blew up Megaton.
Oh yeah, it was a Fallout 3.
I mean, I saved my game first.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do it for real, but I entirely did it. I had to see it. You know, it was a must see. But
I went back and played Fallout 1 and 2 because I never played them. Maybe I did the first one for a little bit, but I never really got hooked to them. But later in life, I went and played both Fallout 1 and 2.
they're hard
Using
to sell, aren't they?
well, they're hard, but if you follow a guide that tells you where to go, it's not that hard. But they're actually hilarious.
Oh, are they?
They're hilarious. Yeah,
Nice.
There's some awesome dialogue in the game.
Okay.
So I can see where that's why they got some of the. I think they have some of the humor in Fallout 3, where you're talking to the zombies, and like how you flesh face and stuff like that. They say funny things. So.
Oh yeah, I love it.
But they were a little bit more funnier in the Fallout 1 and 2.
I like the mythos though. It's well done. Yeah. It just again both of them really well done. All right. Well,
Oh, and they also say if you like Fallout 1 and 2, you should play the game called Wasteland, which was actually the predecessor
I
to
know of
Fallout
what you
1 and 2.
speak, and I do want to play
There's
it.
there's a new Wasteland that came
Yep.
out, like Wasteland 3 or something that's out now.
Yep, I know of what you speak.
Yeah, so I think it plays like Fallout 1 and 2 did, but
Well, you must be in your glory though. There's more post-apocalyptic
I
games
know.
than ever before.
burn it down.
You must not be the only one that enjoys that genre.
It is kind of cool. I just, technically, I hope it never happens because that would suck. But I like the atmosphere.
If it does,
Mad Max
I'm hoping I'm at ground zero and I'll have a catcher's mitt yelling, "I got it! I got
yeah,
it!"
I got it. I'm blind.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you wanna be
I don't
here.
want to deal.
Yeah,
As Modest Mouse once said, "I don't want to deal with any of your Mad Max bullshit."
yeah. Oh, did you say that's awesome?
Yeah.
I did love Mad Max.
Modest Mouse, man. Sometimes I just think of their lines because they're just so profound to me,
Yeah.
and they're just so fucking weird. But there's a song I can't think what song it is, but the line is, "The point was fast, but it was too blunt to miss. Life handed us a paycheck, and we thought we worked harder than this."
Yeah, I understand that completely.
It's just complete randomness, but Modest Mouse, man.
That's awesome.
Shout out. All right,
So,
well,
your last game,
my
right?
last game, and I love it. We've told the story, so I'm not going to tell the story, but I love everything about this story. It's forever going to hold a special place in my heart. But Doki Doki Literature.
Sorry.
It's not even a game.
Yeah.
Like you don't even really play
It was a practical joke, is what it was.
well, I guess I'll do the short version. So on April 1st, one day,
Yeah.
Kevin sends me a game in Steam,
Yeah.
and I said, "Huh," because I have not thinking it's April 1st. And I said, "Huh, my friend Kevin sent me a game.
Yep.
I should check this out." So I installed said game, and I started playing it. And I'm like, this game is atrocious. You don't even play it. You're just kind of reading. And it's like a cartoon about like high school girls.
Yeah,
I'm like,
teenagers and stuff. Yeah.
fuck, they're in a poetry club. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why would Kevin send this to me?
Because I played it.
And so, I'm playing this game. And then a few days later, Kevin comes over and he's laughing. He's like, "Dude, that was an April Fool's joke. You don't have to play that shit."
Yeah.
But by now I'm committed. I'm like, "Oh no!" But the poetry recital Saturday, and I'm
Yeah, it's
just
coming right up.
I'm invested now.
Yeah.
I'm just going full
Yeah.
bore till I get to that.
Yeah.
And then that recital, the day of the recital,
Yeah.
and then that was the day where I'd said to myself, "We're doing this recital, and then I'm not going to play this game anymore." And that game fucking took a hard left off a cliff
It did.
into the depths of the fucking sea.
Yeah.
It went so far off the rails, I couldn't believe it, to where to this day, it is the one and only Steam review I've authored.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is phenomenal. But you gotta go, I like to go in fresh.
Going fresh.
That's
Yeah.
my advice. Don't do any research on this game whatsoever.
Yeah.
And go and play this game. And you're gonna think I'm wrong because, like I said, it's not much of a game.
Yeah.
It's really just a story that you're reading along. And yes, it has these gamey portions that, frankly, I'm half convinced it makes zero fucking difference what you
I
choose.
don't think it does.
I don't think
Yeah.
it does either. But my advice is get to the recital.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you will see. And if you're anything like me, you'll be like, "Why, Kevin? Why?
Yeah. Why did you?
Why?
Do this?
What did I do
It
to
was
you?"
a joke.
And then you'll get to that hard left, And I've beaten that game at least 4 times.
Yeah. I beat it a couple times because it gets weird. I mean, really weird.
Really
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
So in case it's unclear, I highly recommend this game.
Yeah, it's not for
And
children, by the way.
It even says it.
Yeah.
Like it's got this poppy,
Yeah.
bubbly
Yeah.
music
Yeah,
in the
it's like,
beginning, and it
la,
says
la,
in big
la,
clear
la.
letters,
Yeah.
like not for children,
Not for
adults
children.
only.
Yeah. Yes. There's support groups after you're done with this game.
It was just so good.
Yes.
And the magic of that one was I'll never get it back. Where
Yep. That's.
it was such a surprise because, I mean, I'm telling you, I spent good 60% of that game. Like, what the fuck, Kevin?
I know. It was a good joke, if you ask me.
In hindsight,
yeah.
but it worked out so magically
Yeah.
that I'm telling you that game will always be special to me.
That may be my best April 1st joke. April Fool's Day joke. That might be the best one I've ever done.
It landed so well,
Yeah.
and it just pure fluke. But yeah,
It's what April Fool's should be.
It
You know,
was
some
beautiful.
Inoffensive, like off the wall thing. You know.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. But I love that. I'm so pleased I stuck with it.
Yeah. Good. Me too. Because I'm like, I can't believe you was playing that game.
Yep.
Wait till I didn't. I thought by then you would have known it went off the rails, but you
Okay,
didn't. You
no,
didn't.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Had you played through it by the time I played it?
No, but I knew of it.
Okay,
I knew
yeah.
of it. I knew what the plot was.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I saw none of that
Yeah.
coming. I
Yeah.
thought I was playing some wholesome little,
Yeah.
like, teeny bopper game, cursing your name the whole time, wondering, what the fuck? I hope my poem wins.
Yeah.
You know. And then, wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
So I think I ended up playing about the same time as you when you said started making hard left. So I played it through, and I'm like, oh yeah, I made hard left.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, that was weird. So
Fantastic, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one blew my mind.
that's awesome.
And see, I would say right now that blew my mind the most,
Yeah.
but I say that only because that's the last thing that I saw where, as I put it, my mind melted. Like gray matter was pouring out of my ears because I'm like, wow, I've just never seen its like.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, my number one was gonna be Aerith. So this.
Oh, I'm sorry, I fucked that all up for you.
No, it's all right. That's what you do. See, it's my number one right
yeah,
down
that's
here.
what you
That's
do.
what you do. So this is gonna be a bit of a letdown.
So this is truly your penultimate. Then.
This is my penultimate. This wasn't in order, really. Technically, I probably should have did Elder Scrolls before or after this. So Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. The game started in media res, which means in the midst of things.
Yeah.
Which is a great storytelling device if done correctly. And the game starts with you dying in a train car, shot in the belly. I don't know how you survive this. Dangling over a cliff. That's how the game starts.
As it should be, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then it just gets awesome from there.
That's awesome.
A lot of people consider that the best Uncharted game.
And you love that whole series.
I loved every minute of it. I have a PS4 of all three.
Yeah.
If you ever want to play it.
I got
you can
one, two,
or
I got
four.
a couple for free from PlayStation.
I don't know which ones.
I have no idea which ones either. But
I have a kit, the remastered version of 1, 2, and 3, which is worth playing the remaster because when they put out the first game, the gunplay was a little off, but it actually wasn't accurate was the problem. So they fixed it. But the game is like, it's like you're playing an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
You know, like full on Indiana Jones, where you got the scenes where you're on a train car fighting baddies, helicopters are coming at you.
it's crazy.
It's just a blast.
Yeah.
It's just a blast. And there's ways to cheat in the game because I know you love cheating like I did. And all it really is just gives you more ammo or better guns. You don't need to cheat in the game. The game is not terribly difficult.
Yeah, honestly, that's typically I don't like conserving ammo because how can you conserve ammo and shoot everything everywhere?
Well, Naughty Dog Games, who did also Last of Us, and they got smart in their later games, like Uncharted 4, Last of Us 2. When you beat the game, it unlocks options.
Yeah.
And one of them is infinite ammo.
Yep, that's a handy one.
Yeah, so infinite ammo and Uncharted 4, not only is infinite ammo, you can pick whatever gun you want at any moment,
Nice.
which is pretty awesome,
That
too.
is awesome.
So Uncharted, I would say rank them Uncharted 2 and 4. They're close. I don't know which one's better. I mean, I really like the Uncharted 4 a lot. Uncharted 2 was great. Uncharted 3 was like next. Uncharted 1 is the worst.
I don't know why I associate these series together, but Uncharted series makes me think of the Far Cry series, and I've never played any of the Far Cry series.
Because there's a lot of jungle scenes, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. Somehow
Yeah.
my brain associates the two.
Yeah.
But that said, have you played any Far Cry games?
No, but I've seen many playthroughs of it.
I always presume they're first-person shooters,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah, they're a first-person shooter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're going through the jungle and
But
doing
what
crazy
is
things.
Uncharted a first-person shooter?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's a first-person shooter,
All
and
right.
but it's famous for those big what they call set pieces. Where you're like in Uncharted 3, you're fighting as the cargo is coming out of an airplane.
Oh, that's
and you're
crazy.
like,
Yeah.
And then you're shooting parachutes, so it's like. It's got these big set pieces where it's
Yeah.
so action packed, it's just crazy, and you're like when you're done, you're like, I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah.
That
Just
happens.
pure pandemonium.
Oh yeah, pure pandemonium.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't believe I survived that.
Yeah.
you know.
Like I need to pause it, just breathe for a minute, because that was some shit.
Yeah, there's just so many moments like that. They're just fun games. Just like Last of Us is when they decide to take it seriously and get dark.
Yeah.
But Uncharted is like fun, just a fun game to play.
That's
If
awesome.
you want to play a mindless game with a simple hero who is just charming as hell, he is charming as hell, and just fun.
That's awesome.
And so he meets a girl in the first game, then she comes back in the third game, then she's mad about the girl he was with in the second game.
Oh, that's nice. That's
And then-
awesome.
Yeah, so and then she's in the fourth game, same girl,
Okay.
Elaine. So yeah,
I'll have to look at what I have. Yeah.
if not, I have all the games on CD and PS4.
I think I might
I have
already.
all of them. In fact, they released another one because technically Uncharted 4 was the last one of Nathan Drake,
Okay.
and they released one called Uncharted Legacy, which is using a female character protagonist for the second game as the main character.
Okay.
So that was actually kind of fun too, because
Nice.
he added silencers to that game.
Oh, nice.
I love silencers.
Yep. I love Kimbo pistols. Run around, two guns in you.
Oh yeah.
Fucking makes me
You
happy.
can't do that in this game,
Oh.
but what you would like about this game is you play what you want. You want to go guns blazing? Go guns blazing. You want to sneak and snap people's necks? Sneak and snap people's necks.
You know my idea of stealth
Yeah,
is you can't hear me when I shoot you in the head with a
Yeah.
bullet.
but you can get through the game either way.
Yeah.
It's I've done it both. So
Nice.
it's not one of those games where they punish you if you don't sneak attack every person.
I think I told you off the show, but
Yeah.
I read a thing about a guy who played Skyrim, and he
Yeah.
killed everything.
Everything, everybody that
Every
yeah.
creature, every person, every NPC. He said, I am alone.
Yeah. Well, there's some characters that would be unkillable. They always mark them.
Okay, that you can't actually take him out.
Yeah.
But I guess this guy killed everything you could in the game.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it works. Do animals not respawn? I have no idea. Or maybe he
know.
just killed one of everything. I don't know
Yeah,
how it
yeah,
works.
maybe. I don't
But
know.
he was like, Noah,
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
kill two of everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure what respawns or if he. Yeah, I don't
The
know.
way the article sounded was
Yeah.
like he would load up the game to an empty world now because everything had been killed by him, and I completely relate.
It's possible that he threw a mod on there that made no characters
Oh, invincible kind
invincible.
of thing?
Yeah.
Well, I started doing that with Outer Worlds, and I just
Yeah.
never finished. But I was
Yeah.
literally shooting everyone to the point where my computer the spaceship started referring to me as a homicidal maniac. Because
Jesus,
she'd be like, hey,
that's
go
funny.
here and meet this person.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, how about I go there and kill everyone?
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Jesus. That's what's good about that game because they knew you might do that.
Yeah.
And so they programmed it into it, which
Oh,
is kind of cool.
it's completely.
Yeah.
There's no missions when you do it that way.
Yeah.
Well, there are, but anybody who gives them to you dies pretty much the minute I see them.
Yeah. Thanks for the mission.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, you can't do any missions because the missions are go talk to this person, but that person's going to be dead the minute I get there, so I can't really talk to them.
I do need to play that game again because there's DLCs. A couple DLCs came out for it.
Yeah, well, I want to finish that playthrough where I just literally
Just
kill
kill everything,
everybody in the
yeah.
universe.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Um,
I think E3 they're announcing Starfield. I
Yeah.
think. So I want to see that because I still, even though Bethesda gets on my nerves with their Fallout 76, I'll still give them a chance on their Starfield game.
so what would you call like Doom Eternal? Is that Bethesda? Is that ID? It's both, right?
It's ID, but
Oh, okay.
there's Bethesda and there's like Bethesda Softworks.
Oh, okay, I got
It's
you.
like two different companies. One is the publisher, one is the
Props to Doom Eternal. I gotta say, it's a great
Yeah.
game. It's beautiful.
yeah. They happen to buy it. Well, and they're all owned by Microsoft now.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So yeah, that's why I think the games might move quicker if Microsoft's behind them, which means it might not be released on the PlayStation. The new
Yeah,
games.
see, I said that when they bought Bethesda, and you're like, no, they're going to support both. And I'm like,
Well, they-
yeah, says you right now,
Yeah,
sucker.
yeah, I know. I bet you Starfield's not going to be on the PlayStation.
Let me tell
Which
you,
is
if
fine. I'd rather play
I
the
spend
PC
that
anyway.
much money to buy a company, it's not so I can support my competitor's system.
Yeah, exactly.
But likewise, though, they'll end up on PC, so I won't be,
Yeah, I'll buy
still
PC
won't be
version.
buying an Xbox.
Yeah.
But All right. Well,
So that's my list. There's more. I just had to stop.
that's
It's getting.
fantastic.
It was getting to the point where I could go on of all these moments. I was thinking about even earlier moments of first time I played Silent Hill, or there's so many games.
See, Silent Hill, I give props for. You know what I like about that game? There's really only one thing. It's not that I like it either. It's like I have no desire to play the game. I've seen the game enough too to where I don't even find it particularly scary.
Yeah.
I love the fact they made the inadequacy of the system
Yeah.
a feature.
Yeah, which is why the remastered version is hated,
Yeah, piece of crap.
because they're like, but we liked the fog in the first game.
Yeah.
But they got rid of it.
I like the ingenuity of somebody being like, well, shit, my field of vision is nothing. How do I make this work?
Yeah.
Oh, spooky atmosphere.
Yeah. Yep. And the remaster is like, I can see everything clearly now.
I gotta say though,
The rain is gone.
I don't understand any of this though, because like PT,
Yep.
why don't they just sell that as like a demo?
There's some weird fight going on, and I think my PlayStation, if anybody wants it, I have a copy of PT on my PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Which that I was looking around on the internet of other people's like moments where they really like wow moments, and PT was one of them.
PT is the first really. I've seen games like this since, but I would say it's the first truly photorealistic game I've seen, or in that realm where I was like, damn.
Yeah, and it was like creepy, especially when you beat it. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then Norman Reedus shows up. I was like, on Death Stranding. I wanted to put moments on Death Stranding in this list too, because there's some wow moments in that game.
Okay.
I'll play that game again. I'll play it definitely.
I didn't think
will
I'd
play
be
it
able to
again.
come up with a list, but I'll be honest. Once I started really thinking about times that my mind was blown, it kind of wrote itself.
Yeah, and this is just some of them. There's no way this is all of them.
Well, sure. I doubt I remember anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he's old.
it's awesome. Not as old as you, though, my friend.
This is true.
But anyway, well, we covered how to contact us, but tootcast.net.
Yep.
Toot@tootcast.net is how you can email us. We also have a Patreon page if you are so inclined. We'd love the support because, again, we're ever growing, ever changing.
Yep.
And I like to think we're slowly getting better. I know we're trying some things lately, so,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's kinks and there always will be, but we're trying to bring you a better show.
We have a different background.
That's true. Yeah, we're back. We're into the 80s now.
So I will be attempting to record Mass Effect Legendary playthrough as FemShep soon.
Nice.
I just got to find time to do it. I have the setup now to do it, and it looks pretty good. I fixed it. I shouldn't have tried to record it with an Apple computer. That was a bad idea.
It's awesome.
So that, and yeah, if you don't want to see our faces, we are available on any of the streaming app stuff. Like the Apple podcast, or Pandora has us now.
Yeah, that blows my mind too.
I know.
Have to say.
Yeah, we're on Pandora. Yeah, if you still tell Pandora to play the one other thing, it will show up.
Believe me, I do.
Yeah, it'll show up. So it's kind of cool. So we're on everything, but there's other platforms out there. If you want us to on other platforms, just let us know.
That's great. Yeah, and if you have anything to say at all, love to hear from you.
Yes.
And again, thank you all, and thank you, Audrey. Appreciate the support.
That reminds me.
There's another.
Yeah, Audrey sent an email, so I have to send a correction.
Ooh. Oh, actually, too. I'm glad you said that.
Yep.
Audrey, you mentioned Smokey Robinson. Yes. Yeah. Just a short answer. Yes. Yeah. Smokey Robinson's one of those where, just yes. I mean, you gotta love Smokey, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Although I have to say, actually, you know what made me think of either this year or the previous Christmas season? Smokey was doing one of those, whatever they pay the, like basically what you did with Kevin Smith, where you pay some celebrity to read some
Cameo, I think it's called.
Yeah, Cameo, thank you.
Yeah.
And he was doing one of those, and it was one of the most adorable things I've ever seen, because he read this message that clearly he was paid to, but he wished somebody a happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
And I was like, oh my God, somehow when Smokey Robinson does that, it's effing adorable.
Yeah, I know.
So I actually recommend you look that up, because it's effing adorable.
Yeah, it's adorable. So when we were talking albums last week, or like 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, I forget when our last episode was, but we were talking about how I grew up and my parents just listened to like Steppenwolf, and I forget what else I mentioned.
I saw this email. Yeah, you got what
I got a beat.
I laughed.
So, but remember what I said though, that I thought she listened to a lot of Steppenwolf and a lot of Tommy James and the Shondells. So and this is my correction email from Audrey. So thank you for the correction. I don't know where you were growing up, but my music favorites include Beatles, Rod Stewart, Frankie Valli, Bobby Vinton, Guess Who, and more. It wasn't all heavy metal. So, Steppenwolf, heavy metal. You heard it here first.
That's awesome. It's all relative, actually, I think.
Yeah. So, I don't even know who Bobby Vinton is.
Wow.
So, I don't know. I don't think she listened to a lot. I will argue about that. I don't really think you listened to Bobby Vinton when I was a kid.
Oh, my parents had a Bobby Vinton album, although I'll be goddamned if I can think of what his hit was.
Yeah. So that was the correction. So I apologize for not mentioning the Beatles and Bobby Vinton.
Yeah, the Beatles should always be mentioned anyway.
Yeah, that's true. The Beatles. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to say, is that I don't know what else. Oh, I was watching on YouTube just like a week ago, the Beatles performance on top of a building.
Okay, yeah.
And while I'm watching it, in my head I was like, this is the best band ever.
Yeah.
Was just going through my head. It's like people were stopping what they're doing. They're like looking up, and they're just so good.
I have to agree.
So good.
They are amazing.
Yeah. It's just like, wow. They're just so effortless singing. And
I'll be honest, I was a thick kid, so I didn't know what all the buzz was, but about the Beatles, like what the big deal was. But then you listen, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then you become older and intelligent, and you say, oh.
Yeah.
I see.
They started everything. I mean, they were just, oh, wow. And they're just so good.
Yeah,
They're
so talented.
The talent was disgusting. Everyone had a talent. And, even Ringo Starr.
Even Ringo, boy. Just the fact that you say even Ringo
I know,
upsets me.
I know,
Yeah.
it's not fair that he got a lot of slack over and people tease him over the years. He really is good.
Oh, Ringo's freaking awesome, yeah.
And they
a
wouldn't have
star.
sounded like yeah, he's Ringo Starr. Richard Starkey. That's his
right.
real name.
I didn't realize he was a dick.
Yeah, Richard Starkey. The reason, if it wasn't for him, the Beatles wouldn't have sounded like the Beatles because he was a left-handed drummer, and every time normal drummer would be a downbeat, his was an upbeat.
Yeah.
So it sounded different than any other possible drummer. So it would not have sounded like the Beatles if it was any other drummer.
Yeah.
And I think there was one other drummer when they first started.
The fifth Beatle.
The fifth Beatle. No, I think that was somebody else.
That's Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy? That's awesome. Goldfinger. No.
Anyway, well, I think we should end this before it gets any worse.
Oh, it can't. It will get worse.
It will get much worse, but luckily we're not going to record those portions.
Yeah.
So
Well, I might just for my pleasure.
that's fantastic.
So.
Well, thank you guys as always.
Thank
you. With that being said,
Oh, did you want to talk about the one other?
Oh, the origin
No,
name? I'm sorry, we're out of time.
We're out of time. Sorry.
Great. I like that bit.
Yeah. So
Okay,
there is one other thing though.
There is.
Someday you'll know.
One day, we're just
One day.
waiting for that stranger to write us.
Yeah, let us know.
But
You want to hear the one other thing? Because it does exist.
it does. There is a story there.
Yeah.
But this is Sean,
This is Kevin.
and that's the one other thing.
Good night. I wrote this.
You did write this.